All right. We're live. Everybody, welcome back to Knuckles Family and Friends. Nani presents Nani, a podcast where we discuss all things anime on the channel right now. Man, I'm your host, Knuckles, aka Laserman Video Games. And we have some special guests here today. Well, we have the usual guests here. We have a guy here, Ralph, but we have a very special guest here today. He's been on two of my shows. Been on my Mario Kart stream and recently did a Mario Party stream a couple weeks ago. So we have my guy,
Mhm.
Nah, which we've known each other for a while now. Like, it's just that we actually finally game together because we had mutuals right there. So,
Yeah,
now I
for
want to
sure.
say welcome to the podcast. And always, how I start my podcast, I want to tell every new person that comes to this podcast. I want to tell you, give us your anime origin story, like how you got into anime, how did you become the nerd that you are today. Every story is there right there. I always enjoy hearing them. So please, the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you for having me. That's the first thing. I can't wait to talk about Soul Leveling season 2. We're gonna get
Yes,
all into it. But
yes.
how I got into anime. For years, I wasn't always into it like as a kid. I started with DBZ back in high school. So that was like 2018. That's when everything
Bah!
for me.
Zah! Ha!
Like
Whoa.
Ha!
yeah, yeah. So that tells you anything about my age. That sums everything
Zah!
up.
Ha! Yeah,
And I always do
yeah,
this on
yeah,
accident.
yeah. You see this shit?
Um,
We might have to cancel the stream right now, y'all. God damn, man. We might
Yeah,
have to, we might have to
that's
cancel this
wild. I'm
shit.
about to say some wild numbers then. Oh my god.
But go on before, because
but
I got shot a little bit right now. Before I
nah,
get like,
Damn, damn, damn!
I always do that on accident. But
Listen,
yeah.
starting
But
to
let's
peak.
see.
see
They
how it's all good, man.
DBZ. I've always heard about like Goku's such a famous character, right? So like if you're
Yeah.
in like the fandom circles where there's like video games and movies and stuff like on the internet in the late 2000s, you're gonna hear about Goku. So I've been hearing about him all this time, know about DBZ characters and stuff until I'm like, you know what? Let me finally like watch the show from beginning to end, and that's how I started. And then I also y'all heard of this anime Rosario plus Vampire?
I've heard of
I,
it.
I
Yeah.
heard of it. I've never seen it though.
So I've seen like YouTube clips of that, and then like I kind of watched the show, not really like beginning to end, but like I watched the show
But
off those
by the way, I'm
clips.
still listening to. I'm just letting people know that we're live right now. So I'm still
Oh, for
listening.
sure,
By the
yeah,
way.
yeah, for sure, yeah. So then when I really got into it, like Dragon Ball Z to this day is still my favorite, like absolute favorite anime. But then I watched Dragon Ball Super in 2019 just to like follow up because like I originally wanted to get into Dragon Ball Z because of Ultra Instinct from Super. I'm like, ooh, what leads to that? Because I love Ultra Instinct just as a form. Um, then Cowboy Bebop. Oh wait, hold on, let me back up. Akira and Ghost in the Shell. That's when I
Yeah.
really started
Yeah.
getting back into it because I wanted to see
That's
like
a
the
good
movie
shit.
side of it.
Yeah.
And those were two movies where it was like, this is not just like battle shonen and stuff. It's
Mhm.
more like it's a medium. You can have sci-fi, you can have romance, you can have
Yeah.
it's genres within the medium of anime as a whole. So after those two movies, I moved into Cowboy Bebop, and then My Neighbor Totoro, starting my Ghibli movie journey. And then basically ever since, so that was 2022, those four things. And then ever since then, I've been like watching anime, writing reviews about it in Discord. So like for the people that know me in Discord, like if they have like an anime channel, I would write reviews like talking about the show, what I like about it, what I didn't like about it, and all that type of stuff. Like right now, I'm on my One Piece journey.
Oh.
Um,
Ralph is gonna be happy
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a fun time so far.
Welcome
I'm
to the
almost
crew.
at 100, and I'm doing this thing called daily reps. So like the only rule is just watch one episode, at least one episode a day. So a lot of
What
times I get to like 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I finished like Arlong Park in like
Oh, you
2
just said
days, I want to say.
Arlong.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Where I'm at
Okay.
now is actually Alabasta.
You're skipping
And
fillers though, right? Obviously.
yeah, oh yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes, for
okay.
sure. Yeah, just
They got
Crunchyroll, skipping fillers.
they
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
One Piece got fillers. I thought almost every episode was supposed to be like the.
No. Like half of it's filler. That's why I don't understand. Y'all tripping.
I would say
Oh,
um I would say Naruto is a show where it's like half of it because I'm on my Naruto journey
Okay,
too.
okay,
And
okay.
like once you get
Maybe.
to, I saw once you get to like 150 something, then
Mhm.
you can just skip straight to Shippuden.
Well, like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, don't do the same thing I did because after the Sasuke Retrieval arc, I watched every episode after that, and that was a grand mistake that I did. Like, should just skip to like the last part of it. But no, me being a fan, like I'm gonna watch everything. This is when it was still on YouTube, and that
Yeah.
was
Oh
that
yeah,
wasted
Watching
some
in
time
4
right there.
parts.
Yeah,
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember. I remember that at least.
Yeah.
Split it up and
That's
stuff.
how I watch Bleach. 4 parts. You miss one part, you're lost. You're like, shit, what the fuck just happened?
yeah. That's when we
Yeah,
didn't have the
Um,
DVRs that we have now.
Exactly.
yeah. And some of I don't know if you're gonna ask this question later, but I'll just go ahead and say like the rest of my I'll go top 5. Like Dragon Ball Z is at the top. Bebop is 2. Mob Psycho 100 is 3. I love Mob Psycho is always the curveball for
I love
people.
Life
Like
Cycle.
I
No,
like
it's
not everyone,
fantastic. I
yeah,
read the
not everyone
manga
hears
and I
about
watched
it.
the anime. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. The animation,
Yeah.
story is all very
It
consistent
doesn't
and like
get
it's
talked
short.
about as much, in my opinion.
It
Like,
gives,
I agree.
was the last season in 2023, right? The last season.
yeah,
2022, I thought, but
2
still
or
recently.
3 maybe.
Of those 23, yeah, it's like I don't see people. Maybe I haven't talked to the right people. I haven't seen many people mention that as the top animes of 2023. I'm like, yo, like this shit was fire. Like, it was very personal the last season.
Yes, like that when that last season it's like a culmination of like everything it's been building towards.
Mm.
And it's only in 37 episodes. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
This is, well,
4 is yeah, 4 is My Hero Academia. Like for a personal reason, like I watched that show at the right time when I needed that motivation, and when when I'm watching Deku's journey, it really did speak to me, and I love all the characters and their different quirks and powers and storylines and stuff, especially the Todoroki family. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
Then to round it out is Samurai Champloo. For the same reasons that I like Bebop, but for like samurais and hip hop together, and like
Yeah.
that soundtrack is
that was cool.
amazing.
That was a dope
Now,
show.
I know it's early to talk about it, but since you had Shampoo and Cowboy Bebop in there, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be watching Lazarus this weekend.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lazarus is going to
Yes.
be
Without-
so good.
Without a
We'll
doubt,
say that for a different time, but I'm gonna just say this right now. I watched the intro like 50 times already.
Yeah,
I listened
it's
to the
going to be
intro
so good.
so many damn times.
Yeah, I love that it's more grounded. It's not like anything super, no space. It's just like trying to get a
Yes.
virus. Yeah, I love
So
it.
simple plot. Honestly, it's not to throw shade at Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo. It's a pretty simple plot, like story, like plot wise.
Well,
Like,
they're all one-offs, which can be off-putting. I know for me, original watches, I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I watching this wrong?
Mhm.
But being an anthology, because so is Space Dandy, and I absolutely adore that show.
oh yeah, another one.
That show's incredible. But yeah, just the anthology aspect of it's definitely different.
But that's a good origin story, despite you saying when you watch DBZ. That's still, I was like, ugh! Ugh!
Yeah.
But but no, I'm so happy to hear the story. Like I said, this channel is for all ages right now. Just me and Ralph are just one of OGs right here. I would just say that. I would just say that. But I respect you watching an older anime in like 2018 and watching the 90s right there. I'm very impressed by that because you don't see a whole lot of people for your age group saying that DBZ was their first anime ever watching right there. That's really true. I respect you because that's the first anime that I watched. Well, no, technically speaking, it was Speed Racer, but Dragon Ball Z really got me into anime right there.
It's crazy. It's crazy how like the generations of anime like go because like my entry point to Speed Racer is that live action version, and I didn't even know it came from anime first until like later.
Yeah, that's
I learned about the
wild.
history of it.
Yeah.
But like that's why I love to watch like some of the other older ones I watched is Gunbuster, which is like
Gunbuster. Wow,
precursor to Evangelion, sort of, but it's still its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also watched Megazone 23, which is like one of
look
the
at
first OVAs like in the 80s. But like I wanted to watch those to gain context of like the evolution of it too. And some of those older ones still like age well to this day as well.
I got a throwback for y'all.
What's up?
Ronin Warriors.
I was just about to
Okay.
say that.
I'm alright.
I was
Bruh.
just about to
Bruh.
say that. Dead
Bruh.
ass.
I grew up on that so hard.
Oh,
I had all the
yes,
action figures, like everything. That shit was
NightHawk.
so crazy
I
to me.
recommend Ronin Warriors, man. It's a
Yeah,
90s, but that shit
Okay.
was. I was able to tell Ronin Warriors. I
yeah.
was just about to say that shit.
The fire
Now, I
armor.
think America is called Ronin Warriors. I think Japan called it something else.
Yeah, it was something different in Japan, but
Samurai Warriors or shit like. No, not Samurai.
Samurai Troopers.
yes,
Yeah.
Samurai
Yes.
Troopers.
Yes.
It's like a Sentai, like a Ranger-esque kind of
Okay,
thing,
cool.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's a fire one right there. It's very
Yeah.
good. Like I said, we can give you some old school animes for like days and stuff
I
like
know.
that. But
I
so
got some
we're
crazy
10
ones.
minutes in right now. So today, folks, we're gonna be talking about Solo Leveling season 2. It just ended, and this was definitely one of the biggest animes of 2025 right there. And I'm gonna say this: January started some pretty good animes. Some returning, some brand new. I mean, there's Sakamoto days, but I feel as though Solo Leveling was kind of like was on its own path right there. I don't think anyone was such a Solo Leveling season 2 at least. Now, it's not to say that Sakamoto days will be bad, but I feel as though Solo Leveling season 2 was just killing everybody in like from January to March. And we all watched the first season last year, and I liked it. Right, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I feel as though this season just it went up another level right there in terms of like the animation. Now, story is still pretty basic, but I'm hearing that the next season it gets better. But coming into season 2 right now, like what were your guys' expectations, your thoughts right there? Because Ralph, I think we talked about this last year. You're telling me, that the Shadow Monarch move is gonna be a game changer. And people don't know know about this, but Solo is actually a manhwa, basically like their version of mangas in South Korea right there.
Mhm.
So like I said, coming into this, you're telling me that the Shadow Monarch is a game changer. And like I said, I just want to know what were your thoughts headed into season 2 of Solo Leveling. And you guys can go start. Well, yeah, Ralph,
I
how have you started
really,
the manhwa?
I really didn't have like I didn't know what really to expect. I liked the first season, but I remember it was still fresh to me, so it wasn't like anything that like popped out. Granted, it looked pretty, but that's pretty much all I got out of it. But this is kind of where I stopped reading, like right after Jeju Island. So
Okay.
it was like, oh, okay, like it wasn't as fresh, so things were still a little bit new to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, they definitely stepped it up. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of competition just because of how Jujutsu Kaisen went last year. I think a lot more battle anime are like, oh, so this is the standard. We need to compete. So like that definitely, I expected more, but yeah, this definitely blew my mind as far as like I wouldn't even say just animation because, like I said, with Jujutsu Kaisen, the animation's there. One Piece now, the animation's like there. So like animation is a big thing, but choreography, the fight choreography, that's where like I'm starting to see things jump up, and it does the manga so much justice. Like I don't know, I enjoyed it though.
Uh, Nighthawk, what were your expectations heading into Soul Leveling season 2? Oh, Rise from the Shadows. I
Um,
forgot to mention that part too.
um, when I first watched like season one, like people went crazy over it like last year, like saying it was like one of the it had fans. I feel like out the gate, like it feels like it, but
Yeah, it
it
does.
wasn't. I wasn't really up here with it, and I didn't watch it until like it was already done. Like the 12 episodes or 13
Okay.
episodes were out for the first season, and I watched it in like August. And I was like, okay, I'm liking the series. Kind of getting into it a little bit because it didn't go. I could tell it didn't go far in the story, but it's setting up the pieces. Season two, like everyone said, is like it really upped the ante on animation, fights. The best fight of this season, in my opinion, is like in the middle of it, and you don't normally see that except for like Mob Psycho in season two. The
Hmm.
fight like in the middle was low key better than the finale, and it's an insane moment to have. But you can
They're
tell
not
they're also developing like more of the characters too. But yeah,
not to cut you over. You're talking about between the Jinwoo and the Demon King.
Barham.
Yes.
Middle
She
fight.
Yeah,
brought.
to me, Barham was a better
Yeah, yeah,
fight than the Ant. I mean, people were freaking out
yeah. I
about the
agree.
Ant. I'm like,
And
bro, if you read the manga, that Ant scene, he demolishes it, and it's really
it's
pisses
funny
me
you
off.
funny. Well, Rob, it's funny you say that. I know we're jumping around right now, but like,
No,
it
it's
goes,
not.
I'm right there with. I thought the Demon King was the better fight, but here's
Hmm.
actually, no, I'm gonna let you go first. Now, I'll tell you what my review is because I said no, we're jumping around right now, but I'm gonna let you go
Oh,
first with this. My
yeah.
apologies.
So like it's crazy that they have like that amount of and it's nothing necessarily wrong with having a big set piece with that in the middle because I do like the Ant King's design, but like overall with the if I'm bringing it back to this season overall, it brought my like ranking of the show in terms of all of animes like up a notch, like up several notches really. Like it's up I would say it's a tier up from like where I originally placed it at before because I really love seeing the potential of like um where the story can go. Now it's still basic like you said, but then you can tell if they just push that story a little more, we can really have something how do I describe it? Like it's there's more there they can go in on,
I know what
and
you're saying.
if they do that in season three, they're gonna be great.
Yeah. Now,
Just, oh,
well, I was gonna see my actually real fast. Sorry, Ralph. But listen, the first season for me, I told Ralph about this. We did a discussion about this last year. I felt the first season was the like the appetizer because it was mainly more on Jinwoo, set up the basically like his prologue story right there. And this season right here, like I said, other characters we got to see more characters now. Granted, they weren't the main show for obvious reasons. I mean, it's called Solo for a reason right there, right? But I feel as though this season introduced more characters. Jinwoo's ability just got even better and better. Now, at times, he looked like he was like invincible, but which kind of goes to my part right there, where I feel as though the Demon King was my favorite fight in that fight of the season because he didn't look invincible in that fight. That was actually like he struggled in that fight, like and not like he got lucky. Let's give it a buck on that. Like he got lucky,
Mhm.
had that demon girl not throw that dagger at the Demon King, he would have been dead. But like I said, I know I'm jumping around right now. I apologize. But when y'all said, I was just like, oh man, I agree with them right there. I agree with them right there. But like I knew the animation was gonna be good, but not like this. I'm just like saying, wow, like it's like so 11's leveling up right now with the animation right there. Like I know JinnWoos leveling up, but like the animation, so 11 season 2 just like went up a bunch. And like I said, the story is slow key getting interesting because even in that first gate that they went in, right, how it turned into a red gate and how when he was talking to the L saying like we hear this voice in our head, you're not human like us right there, which I was reading Tiana right there. I'm like, why are they saying the guy is like human right there? But I'm like, okay, the end of season 2 and we saw those two monarchs right there. It's I know where it's coming from right now, but like I said, we're jumping around right now. I apologize, but like listen, things. Listen, season was the appetizer. This season 2 was about, I would say, is maybe like lunch, maybe. And then I feel as though season 3 and after, it's like we're getting like the main course right now. Now, is the mama still going, or is it over now?
there's a part two that I just kind of recently found out about. I didn't even make it remotely that far, but
Okay,
there
so
is
it's
a
still going.
whole ass part two,
Okay,
like
it's
a
still
whole
good.
part two.
And
Okay, it's still
it
good.
continues the original story, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Okay,
Like
and
a
I,
long, yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
I was also hearing that that season 2 Jinwoo was kind of on some disrespectful shit too. Like he like when back grabbed him over there, it's like, yo, I want to go home. I ain't telling you shit. Show me the gratitude. Like he was on some disrespectful shit right there. Now he's still a nice guy, but it's like if you bother him, you're gonna hate him. But if you're cool with him and friends with him, he'll be like your best friend right there. But like I said, season 2 just it's better than season 1. Obviously, the animation went up, and it just got me more excited for season 3 what we're gonna see beyond that. Because, like I said, I feel as though this was another appetizer, but for like the bigger picture of what's to come.
no, I definitely agree. The I don't want to be negative, but the
We'll talk
power
about it.
fantasy aspect of it, Like it has to. Like I said, I'm going in blind now. Now I'm blind. It needs to be throttled a little, just for me. I don't want every win to be a near win or like when in season I believe 1 when he first went to the demon world and he was like, I cannot do this right now. I was like, yes, go train, come back and like do this. And he did, which was cool. But then it just was like a breeze. So just a little more depth to it. I mean, it is purely a power fantasy. Just to say, like, I don't think that's hard to see, and I don't think anyone's really looking for a deep, engrossing story. But also, the thing that I'm realizing is like adapting things from manga and anime or light novels, which a lot of people do nowadays, which are so content heavy. You cannot keep every facet, and a lot of the nuance gets cut. So like that's another thing I gotta kind of get in my head like, hey, they can't have hour-long shows that can show like every backstory or side characters or little nuances in the story, things like that. You know, it's got to be what matters and what progresses the story, kind of thing. So
But to be fair, now to be, I see your argument. Like I said, the whole power scaling thing, it is like kind of ridiculous because like these fights are becoming a bit easier. He gets lucky, right? But here's my, I guess my counter argument to that is that think about this way: you're in a world where you're stuck at your rank. Like if you're at a D, you can't rise up to be a B. If you're at E, you're stuck.
Mhm.
You can't like no matter what type of training you do, you're stuck at that level. So is it fair to say that yes, he's getting stronger, but he's at least working to be stronger right there. I mean, yeah, like the power scaling is kind of ridiculous right there, but he's at least training, to become stronger. Now, is it a bit too strong right there? Yeah, but at the same time, though, he was the weakest hunter. He's at least put it in the work because he knows he's strong. But it's like, yo, I gotta become even stronger, even stronger, even stronger, even stronger. So, like, is that fair to say, or no? Do you still think the power scaling is still too much on that?
I think to be S class in season 2 is a bit of a stretch, if we put it that way. I mean, like,
If I could jump in, I think I had this is the exact problem I had with time I got reincarnated as a slime.
yes, and I loved that show until it got to that, and I'm like, dude, it's
What?
just
Because I didn't get to seasons 2 or 3 yet. I got through season 1, like I finished it, but I
I'm right
didn't
there.
feel pulled to come back. So, like, when would you say slime hit that point in the show?
is it the latest season? I mean, I've watched it because I'm gonna
Season
watch
three
them
was
all.
last year.
Season 3. So at the end of season 3, he did some shit, and I was like, dude, just like I like for them to be characters that they aspire to be. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that dude is strong as fuck one day, and then you see that little by little by little, and that character kind of acknowledge like, yo, I see you, keep putting in work, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when the screen comes up and it's like you just got 50 levels, and you're like, word, that just it kind of takes it out for me. But like I said, it's not everything's adapted. You don't see a lot of the nuances with it, which I have to understand. Like this is made for the flash of the fights and things like that, and to take it as it is absolutely top tier for what it is. Absolutely. So.
And I will say that because I kept thinking in my head, like, why is it so fun to see Jinwoo like level up, or like,
Mhm.
or for him to like power trip, but for someone like Rimuru and Slime,
Mhm.
why does that get stale for me? And I think the reason is Rimuru starts pretty much as a god, like he doesn't
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
world.
Mhm.
Jinwoo, at least to Knuckles' point, does level up,
I
but
agree
then
in that point. Yeah.
that whatchamacallit, what's his name again? The Demon King in
I forgot
uh
his name,
Which
but like
one? In Solo?
Solo that he fought in the
Baron?
middle of the season. Baron.
Baron? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Baron, he struggled a little bit. Ant King, they were like on the same level, but then he
Mhm.
like got stronger a little bit more to beat him. And then like every other episode, I'm blanking, even like the first episode of season 2, like he was like the guy against those snow people.
Mm-hmm.
Got their names too, but
So the snow
No
elves.
elves.
Snow
Yeah.
Elf. Okay, yeah, he was strong against him. So like, I get the point of it. Does get stale if your characters, it seems like they're always winning,
Mm.
but at the same time, to him, it's his personal journey of getting stronger. I do like seeing the reactions of other people when they notice his power, and I
Mhm.
feel like that's the best part for me.
Yeah.
That keeps it.
Well, now to your point about that snow, I think it was Buck. It was B. It was sort of a B, right? When he
Mhm.
fought that ice elf, I
Mhm.
would in that fight. It might looking back at it, it might look like he was overpowered, but he
He
was saying
wasn't
during
that. Yeah.
what
I said he wasn't in that fight.
because he said he needed another person. He's like, this
Mhm.
guy is good.
Oh
He's
yes.
stronger than me. And
Yeah.
Forgot about that,
I
yeah.
would say he got lucky because that one hunter was getting ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, you fell
Tried
into my
to.
trap right there.
Mhm.
You were useful for me." He kills him. So had it not been for him killing that guy and making him to his Shadow Monarch, Shadow
Mhm.
Army, he probably would have lost that fight. Because yeah, because he even
Mhm.
said this guy is stronger than me. I need somebody to
Yes.
help
Yeah.
me.
He
But
needed
that
a
big,
tank.
so he got in a way. He got lucky in a way. That's why he kept that
Mhm.
guy alive. That's why he's like, yo, I'm gonna keep serving people alive. So he killed him. So he be part of my army right there. So yeah, and honestly, it was satisfying killing that guy. 'Cause he was like, oh, you weak people, you stay away right here. We're gonna go ahead and follow these guys. We're gonna survive. Like they're like, yeah, fuck these guys. I'm looking after these weak people. So it was karma, man.
What
He's
did he
like,
say? Get some firewood or something? Can y'all go get some wood or some shit?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what he said. He's like, we'll be right back. Y'all go get some.
You guys got fire and food. My skull was showing right there. Like, nigga, you left us to die. What you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's on you.
Yeah. That's insane.
And by the way, when he killed the ice elf, did you notice how he's just walking away casually while the guys would like swing his hammer? He's like, "Yeah, I'm out." Did you see
Yeah.
how that shit was? I mean, he just walk away like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
see you guys. I'll my big guy kill you right there. Like you ain't worth
Yeah.
my time, son." Now he couldn't use the shadow mark on that guy though. He couldn't use him with Adam as his armor right
Mm-mm. Certain characters you can. I forget the reason, but I do really like that because it's like what I'm bitching about, but it's the stopgate. Like, no, you're not gonna revive the guy that's like ridiculously strong right now. Please, you're banned. Yeah,
You can't be too strong. You can't be too
exactly.
strong.
For
Now another big thing that happened like right after that is remember the guy that it was like Wu's first kill, the guy that he decayed his head, the guy has the stronger younger brother. Wong,
Wong Dong
yeah.
Su or
Yeah.
something.
So what interesting was that the fact that he comes back, he wants to kill the guy that killed his brother, but we're also introduced to Jinwoo's father. And he says, how much does the human world know about the gates, right? When I post that on my TikTok, I have people telling me that y'all are not ready for what's about to come. I mean, yeah, there's the raid, but like what he's telling us right now, that's the future. It's like, oh shit, like we're
Mhm.
fucked right there. But also what's cool is that he's an S-rank hunter, that's what they said. And the other guys as a hunter as well. They said when two S ranks fight each other right there, catastrophe happens. And granted, we didn't see what happened, but we all know that homeboy got sunned right there. So I'm like, dang, okay. This guy was trapped in a gate for 10 years. And that's why Wu has not seen his father right there. So like I'm excited to see like, does Wu does not know his father is like out there right now. They think he's probably dead. I don't know. But like I thought it was a very interesting point where, we have, basically that episode was preparing us for season 3. And we're still in season 2. Now, Grant, is that gonna be the next? Is that gonna be the next part? The Monarchs.
I
Is
have
that
no idea what the next part is, honestly.
for all we know? That could be season 4 for all we know. But yeah, I thought that was very cool how he's like warning us about like yeah, because you gotta think about it. How do we get these gates? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go there whenever we want, but like I'm sure there's gonna be some times where the demons or the beasts from those gates want to come in here right there.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean him going into every gate and it turning into A class, S class gate. He's like agitating it somehow. That's like
Yeah.
because I don't know. So like my theory is like there's something going on because it just doesn't make sense for that to happen like every time.
He's got that aura. He's got that killer aura right there. He got that aura.
Farm videos.
Are we gonna get into the aura farming?
I know, I know. I see so many videos about that. Oh my gosh.
When he
You want to talk
loosened
about that
his
right
They're
now?
like, Jinwoo, I'm dying. He's like,
that final
nah, be good.
episode got me. Like when
Ah,
he loosened
I
the
don't.
tie and was walking through the rain, I'm like, they're doing this for the the fans.
I mean, that shit was fire though. I'm not gonna lie.
I
That
loved it.
that
But I'm
that
like, I
shit
know
was
we know
fire.
what
I'm
this is
just like,
for.
damn. Like he is. I would say this. I think at the end of this year, I want to rank my favorite anime characters in 2025. Jinwoo's up there. Like he's up there. Like he's up there. I mean, it was just like I said, the aura and that. But like I said, once again, I think might be jumping ahead right there. But like, I want to get to this point right here, right? Uh, this season, right? I was saying the last season, I'm like, okay, season one was all about Jinwoo. The whole series is about him, but I did like that, the Esper hunters got a little bit of time, like a little bit, not a whole lot,
Yeah.
like just a little bit. Like, what were your thoughts, seeing more of the Esper hunters? Because that's the one thing that I wanted to see from season one that we got more in season two, which I'm like, I'm happy, but I'm still a little bit disappointed. I'll tell you guys about that a little bit later. But like, what were you guys' thoughts on the Esper hunters and seeing how they got a little bit of chance, not a whole lot, but like they got a little bit chance to shine.
Yeah. Hunter, so I would say like off top, like Hunter Cha, Beck, and Choi, the fire user. Like I do want to see them especially more. Like they had their moment against the Queen Ant, which was great. But their own stories, why they want to be Hunter, that's what's missing for now. And I can tell is little like because of course Cha is gonna be might be in a relationship with like Jinwoo in the future. I low key got spoiled by the mom will because I was looking it up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
easy to
but,
tell with that one. They make that
People were
one.
saying that's the wrong woman. It should be the other girl, the ponytail girl. She was the woman he was weak right there. That's the wrong girl.
I like Joey like from season one. Like I think she had it and she's in this season too, which I also thought was interesting that they brought her back. Yeah, there's a little bit of her at the end. I'm glad she's still a hunter and like not completely tossed to the side. But I do wonder like what's the story, what's gonna set her and Cha apart, and then like why does Beck want to be a hunter? What's the deal with Choi and like exploring all these characters and even when the Japanese hunters came in, I thought that was a really cool concept, showing like there's not just Korean hunters, but there's hunters all over the world. So like
Fuck
Goto
the
was
director.
cool.
That director's a dickhead right there. Like
He
the
is,
director,
yeah.
he was a fucking dickhead right there, man. He's like,
Director,
wait,
what do you mean?
well, not the director, but the guy that like the guy there speaking on the microphone that was saying, "Hey, Japan rank hunters, get the fuck out of there. Let's leave." Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
time,
okay.
right?
So here's a thing that I kind of realized with the story. So Japan and Korea like don't really like each other with war crimes in the past. So in the actual manga when I read it, there was a whole sabotage plan set up that this anime kind of glosses over, but it's being animated by Japanese people. So my theory was like, y'all don't like the part where they make y'all the enemy, so they're like, let's kind of cut that shit out real quick. Like,
Okay, all
I can
right.
see it.
because I was
I
waiting
can
for
see
that.
that now. Yeah, I can see it.
I'm
I can
like,
see
why
it.
are they not showing this? That's one of the best parts. The fact that they tried to like sabotage them, and it just like didn't happen. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see why. So I thought that was interesting.
Good
Yeah.
point right there. That makes sense. It all makes sense now. It all makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. But I mean, oh yeah, it's like, but where you're back to what you're saying now, Hawk. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was pretty much that was pretty much like I love the fact that they're showing giving more hunters the spotlight, but I do want to see their actual motivations for because we know Jinwoo's like whole motivation by now. Even his motivation to an extent, I wonder where they're gonna take it in the future since like the original plan was to help out his family and especially his mom. But now that that's kind of resolved, how do we go forward? Just a slight thing, but yeah, I want to hear your point.
Well, speaking of his mom, do you see how when he got, I'm gonna say he revived his mom. You see how that episode got like so many dislikes on Crunchyroll? It was the most
Did it?
disliked episode ever. I'm like, are y'all missing the point as to why he's a hunter right now?
Right.
Do you not see that beautiful moment?
I never heard anything about that.
Say what?
That's crazy. I said I never heard anything about that.
Yeah. No. Let me go ahead and let me see what it is right now, because like that shit was freaking. I'm granted, like you can't always go by what reviewers say and shit like that, but like that shit was just so fucking ass. Like how y'all dislike a beautiful moment like that?
I didn't even know you could dislike or like on Crunchyroll. I just watched.
Okay. So it's 239 likes, which is fine, but 3,000 dislikes. Obviously, the likes always overcome the dislikes, but like the amount of dislikes that we gotten from this season, I'm like, yo, he cured his mom. Like that was a beautiful, that was a touching moment. Yo, like, like I said, I don't read too much of that, but I just feel so. I'm like, damn, man, this has a lot of dislikes right there. What the fuck's going on right now? Like. That shit was packed of ass there. I'm like,
a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Like they were. I'm not saying the episode was stinks, but like those guys stuck. Like that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's sad. But yeah, what do you think about the Hunters getting their chance to shine a little bit in this season, Ralph?
I mean, did they though? I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. Like,
that honestly pissed me off. I'm like, we're taking all the S.
Are you talking about like the whack fight between Japan and Korea, or like the actual just the overall experience? Well, that exhibition match was some bullshit. That exhibition match was some bullshit. But the only things that I liked from the exhibition was the fact that the one guy in the mask and the eye patch or whatever like that, he looked interesting because he was going to his berserk. And I'm like, ooh, I wanted to see more of that. Right, that would have been bad right there. Then I think his name was Goto or some shit like that. That was going to be a big fight, but I'm like, nah, we got to stop right there. And I'm like, I kind of knew it was going to be a bullshit fight too. So especially with the rules, I'm like, yo, go all out right now. I want to see y'all both go at it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just thought they'd put up more of a fight. And then not only did they like lose, they also got to be like the head raid team after losing pretty miserably. So I'm like, why not let Japan just go in first? Granted, what happened to them. So it's kind of a good thing in disguise. Yeah, I know. Jesus, that was wild. I don't remember it being like that. I was like, wait, what just happened?
I think the Blackhead did like Japanese people, because it's like he let the Japanese people, he let the Korean people easy. He was like, fuck Japanese, I'm gonna kill all y'all right now.
Yeah, exactly. He just
it was bad. But like I said, they got, at first I'm like, okay, we're gonna see more of the answer hunters. I'm excited. But then I turned to be a little bit disappointed in it, because I'm like, they had a cool moment, but it's like it was just, we know why the anime is called solo leveling. We know why. Like, yeah, for real. We know that the tiles and everything. It's like, yeah, like we get it. Like, there's some main characters, but in anime, side characters at least get a chance to shine. They only shine for like about 2 minutes until like the Black Ant came in and like, hey guys, I'm gonna stun y'all right now. And then I'm pretty sure we also did the same thing when. First of all, when the Black Ant arrived and we heard the music playing, the same music that was played when we killed those other hunters, I'm like, yeah, y'all are fucked right now, right? Like, just like sends shot fly right there, rubs the guy's arm off, Sun's Bak, Sun's Choi, Sun's the other arrow guy, but then the big guy, being the dumbest he is right there, it's like, we have this healer on our side. I'm just like,
what kind of shit is that?
Why would you announce that you got a healer on your team right there?
But the thing is, he didn't know where the healer was, regardless. But he just like, he pulled it out of him. I thought that was really cool. I was like,
I think eventually, I think eventually like,
he hit
we'll
him hard
find
enough to
out.
where he'd have to be healed, and then he's like, "You're staying close, aren't you?" It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he was gonna find out eventually. He's gonna be like, "Yo, what's going on right now?" But but then also, sadly, I knew that guy was gonna die, Hunter, man, because he said, "Oh, I'm not gonna join you guys." You saw the kids, then he joins. I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's dead. He's dead."
Oh yeah,
Like,
they always do that type of foreshadowing.
yeah, they did that in last season. Like when two of the guys ran off in the first or second
yeah,
episode
they
right
came
there,
back.
and they came back there like oh, they're past. Oh, make sure you come back safely. So I'm like, yeah, they're dead. They're dead right there. And
They had to
it
get
was
that
sad to
comeuppance.
see. It was sad to see, but like I said, those Ezra hunters didn't just had a minute or two of shine right there, and like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna see why you guys are the side characters, why it's called So 11 for a reason right there. So yeah, like it was bad. It was bad. Now I think now we get into the Wu fight against the end. Then we can talk about the Demon King. Now, like I said, the reason why I said the Demon King fight was better is because Wu struggled in that fight. Like I think in reality, the Demon King was stronger than he was in that fight, and also for that Demon Girl, I also thought was also interesting yeah, it was also interesting that the beginning part of the episode she was saying that we came from the demon realm, we got sent here, like the system, like we're still having thoughts about like, what the system is, like what's going, like how did y'all get here, what were y'all protecting right there, what were you preparing for right there, so like I feel as that might tie into season 3 right there, and I thought SEO bought some flavor, because it's like we think like all these people don't have any feelings in this realm. No, they got feelings. I thought it was actually pretty cool right there. I hope to see more of her. But back to the main fight though, like that fight was better. Like I said, in my opinion, like I said he struggled in that fight. He didn't look invincible. He got lucky from that dagger, which by the way, he old school fatality that guy too, right there. When the fucking classic Johnny Cage uppercut and his head
Yes.
decapitates right there. That shit was fire. But I like that fight better. I mean, animation was great. Like animation was great with the Jinwoo and Black Ant fight. Like visual animation, it was great. Like it was phenomenal. But for me, I just think Wu just had the advantage. I mean, yeah, it was that one where he went to that critical strike move or whatever like that, where the ant looked like he had him. But no, like to me, Wu was in control of that whole entire fight. Like I like fights where it's like we're evenly matched right there. It can be anyone's game. And what's interesting is that I posted that on TikTok, and people, I think Ralph, you talk about it as well. People are telling me in the manhwa, the black guy did not even stand a chance. Like it was worse than the manhwa.
Mhm.
He had a better chance. He did better in the anime. I'm like, really? That was
Because
better?
they know though, like if they did that, people would catch on very quick and be like, all right, what the fuck? So like you have to make it more of like a struggle. It's kind of like I was saying earlier, like the point of it, of the rank system, to me, like I wanted to see more of that progression, but because it happened so fast, and that, just to go back to the S rank warriors, it's like these are the top people in the world, but they struggled at every bit of the arc. And I'm like, damn, where does it go from here? Because it's going to be some other shit happening. People are going to get stronger. S rank is going to become like B rank in 100 episodes or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think
So
there's like a Z rank or whatever like that. Like there was a few ranks that I saw online, but
I
there's
thought there
like
was national. National it's S and then national hunter. I think they mentioned that.
okay. and
Interesting.
and, and Jinwoo was not an S rank. He's above that. He's way, but he's way above an S rank hunter. Like
Mhm.
those are his children. Like
Yeah.
these are his sons right there.
Isn't
These are his children right
Igris?
there.
Igris is S rank now, right?
Oh yeah,
The Shadow
that's right.
Warrior.
They're getting
Yeah,
stronger as
Igris
well
Yeah.
too. The Shadows again
is
are
S
stronger
rank.
as
Yeah.
well. But
So
no, Nighthawk said this earlier. You said you liked the middle fight more. Did you explain why you had why you liked it more better than the ant fight?
I did, but I do want to clarify some things. Not that the invite was bad or anything. It's just
Yeah,
that
I didn't. I don't think it was a bad anything. It was still a good fight. especially music and everything. I just thought it wasn't the best fight in my opinion. I just thought animation was great, but in terms of a fight, I thought Wu was had the advantage the whole entire time.
Exactly. And I will say that finale was worth like the wait. Well, it was technically the second last episode, but it was the last fight. Like that was worth seeing. Like the way they animated that one was slightly different than how they animated the Baron fight. They were both it was like watching two different styles, but both styles were done really, really well. I just like the design of the ant as a whole, and like he looked threatening, and he doesn't look like a generic anime boss. Like they put some care into that design. But the Baron fight just felt more. I think besides him struggling in the fight, I think it was also because of, once again, his motive. This is like one of the last things he needed to get the elixir of life.
There was an actual like reasoning behind it.
Yeah, and that was everything was like riding on that moment. And also he needed to protect Isil as well, and she ended up helping him. So the undertones of that worked really well for me.
Funny, I was just going to say, because she even said herself, what should I do? Should I help him or should I help the other guy? As soon as he tried to kill her, she's like, oh yeah, I made my mind up right there. I made my mind up right there. He tried to kill me. Okay. I know what side I'm on right there.
Right.
I know what side I'm on right there. But, all right. So the thing I got to ask, right? And this might be a debate because this happened at the funeral scene when everything was going on right there. Which, by the way, Wu's son, the ant, he actually got the shadow mark on him, and the ant talked. None of their shadows could talk, but he talked right there. And it's like, yo, I tried to kill you. He's like, no, you didn't kill me. I've been reborn. I'm like, dang, you went from wanting to kill me to like being like, I'm your servant. I will do whatever you say. I'm like, dang, your tone has changed. Like, this nigga tried to kill me just now. Now he's like, I'm your humble servant right there. I'm like, okay, because I can't forget that all these guys all died. They all tried to kill this guy. I'm like, oh, y'all actually really cool right there. Y'all actually all cool. But I thought it was cool that he actually could talk right there, right? But at the funeral, right, it was reported saying, yes, we have to thank Hunter Jinwoo, which, by the way, it was broadcasted. His fight was broadcasted right there. Everyone saw that, right? But the question is, she had been there from the beginning, because they were saying like, had it been there from the start, he would have saved a lot more people. Now, Beck did say, those are what people said right there. You saved a whole lot of people. No matter when you got here, you saved a whole lot of us right there. But what do you guys think? You think he should have been there from the beginning? Do you think he's been a little bit selfish right there? Like, what were your guys' thoughts on him not being there?
He low-key was like chilling at home. He's like, man, my mom's home, but I'm kind of bored, bro. And they're just all like getting massacred. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pull up. Just like, what? That was kind of crazy to me. I don't like remember it that like not having as much weight, because he was really needed, like really badly.
I'm trying to think of why. I don't want to say like, oh, he should have been there from the beginning, but I'm also like, well, why didn't you go to begin with? And I don't think the anime gave us that reason.
He said he thought they were going to be fine. He thought they were going to fight. He had a lot of extra hunters,
which we all thought. Like, the whole world
thought they had that many S-rank hunters, they would be safe.
There's only 40 S-rank hunters. They should be okay without me for a day.
Yeah.
And
that was his reason.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? To be fair, they did beat that queen ant, but no one suspected the ant king to show up. And then once he showed up, it was like a whole other game.
Yeah.
You got a point. I mean, I would say if you probably would have saved the Japan hunters. I'll tell you that much, because like he only killed one Korean hunter. That was Sally. That was men right there. Sally, that was him. Which, by the way, it was a very touching moment when we saw his shadow smile at Beck when he said he doesn't like the fight.
That was good. Yeah, that was nice.
Complete, like, just release him. Like, you know what? The first time we met, you kind of crossed the line me right there. You wanted to smoke right there, but you know what? In this situation right here, I will let that go. I will release him right there. and he smiled back and back. I'm like, damn, this is hurtful right now, man. This is getting my
Mhm.
tears right now, bro. Like that hurt. Like that really did.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then I would say that like even that part, like the interesting thing about the Ant King fight was probably after the fight itself, because like for two reasons or for two things that happen, but they relate to the same idea, which is like Jinwoo basically recruiting people to a shadow army. Like, what happens to why does the Ant King get to talk, and how does Min get to show emotion to Beck at the end? And then my thought process of the way I'm interpreting it is that they have their memories, but it's like their reawakening is causing them to see like a new outlook on life. And like
Mhm.
and especially like the Ant King himself, like he has all of his like memories, like we fought, like the reason
Yeah.
how he's born and all that. But saying is like, yeah, I've been reborn, like I'm now seeing things differently. And like the
Mhm.
reason he's able to talk, I think is just because of his power level. Because like,
That's what I was about to say. I think it's like
yeah,
because he's so
He's a
strong,
general now, I believe.
he retained his
yes,
like humanity, quote
hmm,
unquote.
yeah,
Okay, that's
Conscious.
a point right there. I didn't think about
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Then again, because it'll be like Idris, the first one, he didn't even talk, so it's like I wouldn't see him talking. You have bears, them talking would be kind of weird. The ogres, him talking might be weird, but I feel as though it
He talks
just
a lot.
yeah,
I don't
he
think you
talked
want
a lot.
him talking.
Yeah,
He
he talked
talks
a
all
lot of
kinds of
shit.
shit.
He talked a lot of shit. He
He's like,
did, but
get
I
them
feel as
funky
though
humans out of my castle. Like, I'm gonna burn
yeah,
everybody.
he's like we're gonna torture y'all.
Yeah, he's like, we're
We're
gonna
gonna
tear you all to pieces. So
like he should. Hey, at least he was honest. It's not like
he
hey, he
was.
feels
He was.
yeah, he
Monsters
was
do
being
monster
honest. I
things.
respect that. Though. I respect
Mm.
that. But yeah, I think Beru talking just it seems right. Honestly, it really does. And
hmm,
him saving Cha, which by the way, they so in season 2, they knew how to end an episode right there. They wait, hold up.
Technical difficulty.
Okay, let me
Mm.
read this right here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. I was like
There we
another router. What the fuck? All right,
go.
cool. But no,
Yeah.
like damn, what was I talking about again? Shit.
the cliffhangers,
Yeah, and the other is also like well, more so the raid. I'm like, as soon as that girl's head came, I'm like, y'all ended it like that? Like, god
Oh yeah.
dang!
Yeah.
That shit
yeah,
was crazy right there. Yeah, they know how to end the cliffhangers right there. But no, I guess we get to our last part of the season reason right there, because I think we talked about most parts of it. Is that what are your guys' thoughts of, those two monsters? At first I thought it was Jinwoo's dead, because I'm like, he had the hair, but I'm like, wait, the teeth, that's not him. This what he's wearing right now, that's not him right there. What are your guys' thoughts on those shadow marks? Because I was hearing that, this is when the shit gets good. Like, because they're
Mhm.
saying, oh, why would a human, help? No, why would a person like him help these humans? I think they're referring to the shadow. Someone said this comment. They're referring to the shadow, not to Wu, because the shadow is the one that's doing all these moves right there. It's mainly the system too. The system is helping because we still don't know why the system chose him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, yeah, like those two guys. I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And we saw
Well,
Wu's father in the background watching him, and we're like, okay, this is what he was talking about, right? This is where it's like, how much do we know about the gates right there? So I feel as though like they are teasing us for something big that's about to happen right now.
could technically anyone in that dungeon have gotten the system if they beat the puzzle?
that's a good question.
That's a good
Because
question.
it's never like expressed, and because the first episode is in one of my favorite episodes by far, first and second, like the him getting the powers is like super. It's such a good hook. I think that's another big reason of why the show works so well. Just because it was like out the gate, just wild, like what the fuck is going on. But yeah, I always thought about that. I'm like, so if one of those bums like just happened to win off of his sacrifice, would they just be god tier? Like, what is going
I kind
on?
of want to see that plot line, that
Yeah,
alternate
like
thing.
something,
Yeah,
something. Yeah, they have to explain that down the
They
road.
don't deserve it. They don't deserve
Yeah,
it.
no,
they
hell
didn't.
no. Yeah,
They don't
Shit.
deserve
shitty
it.
people.
But that's a good point right there. That is a good point.
Hmm.
But nonetheless, though, like seeing those monsters come out, but and like I'm like, okay, we're fucked. Like 'cause they showed them whenever they wanted. They
Mhm.
showed up like no problem. You
Mm.
know, like they can show up anytime they want. Like, what is their goal right now? Like, we don't know what their goal is because it's like, why would they want to come to the humor right there? Like, what is going on? Like, is it that system that's telling them, to destroy, to kill? Like, I don't know. But like I said, I don't know what. I also want to know, like, what was Jinwoo's father doing those 10 years? You remember he was stuck in there for 10 years. Like, what was going on there? So I feel as though that would probably more of that will be answered in the next season. Or it could be season 4. I don't know, but like I've already been seeing teams that Wu was gonna fight Hank's brother, which I'm like, first of all, how's he gonna fight that guy when he already got somebody's father? Unless he's using some type of artifact right there, because I'm like, yo, the guy is now on this level right there. So how are they gonna fight?
Mm.
Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like he's gonna like if we know how if like excuse me, Wu did that ant right there. What is this guy gonna do? But he said I need an artifact though. So you might use an artifact in order to fight him right there. Oh, but also there was just this other hunter too that was able to like kill Alexander with just one strike right there. I don't know what country it was from.
Mm.
I missed it
Yeah,
too.
He was
I
like it
want
was the
to
guy
remember it.
it was the guy on the boat. Like just like that
Hmm.
flash sword out there and just did the strongest projectile, killed all those remaining ants right there. Like
oh, he was from Japan, right? He was on the backup team. Is that what you're talking about?
was it Japan? No, but he looked like a character from. He looked like he almost like so bad guy for a second from Guilty Gear.
So bad
The way his
guy,
design was.
the bad
He was
guy.
they were like right
All right,
there.
I got two things to address. One, the Hunter x Hunter allegations.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Two, when they when he starts talking to certain people and you start getting some story, they start glitching. What the fuck is going
Yeah,
on with that?
they
That's
talk like rope. They
it's
talk
just
like
subtle.
a
No one talks about it, but there's just I haven't seen much discourse about it, but just people glitching out. They're just like, I'm like,
no,
wait, what?
yeah, no. I want to talk about that as well. Like I said, remember he said there's something in our heads that's telling us to do this shit
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yeah,
Like they talk
yeah.
like they're computers.
But the people kill the monsters for could it be the same thing? I mean, they're just mindlessly destroying every monster because you're gonna get rich because the ores are valuable. But they place
Mm.
value on the ores like it's not a big deal to the other creatures that have it. Why don't they use it the way we use it? So I think that's interesting.
Yeah. That is because like that the whole glitching thing that could factor into like why the theme or aesthetic of the show, like whenever they do the promos or like next episode this or like it's always a computer thing, and I
Yeah,
get that's probably because of the system, but it
mm-hmm.
could literally speak to like they're almost in this matrix kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That
and
would be trippy.
Esther was gonna explain more things, but they said, "Oh, too much information right now about the disconnect right there." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what? Like, no,
They're
that
like,
part was very
whoa,
important, and I'm glad you reminded me about that because I want to talk
yeah.
about that. I'm like, yo, what is going on with these system gate thing? Like, I don't know. Like, I
So
mean,
it also brings to the question, is he manipulating the system or is the system manipulating him?
well,
Because it's
that's the one
like
question that I've been
your
wondering. I'm like,
everything is tied to it. Your progression, your items, your abilities, like everything is tied to the system. So it's like, are you really getting use out of it? Or for lack of a better word, is the system grooming you to do something? Like someone will
I'm
spill the beans, I'm sure.
I'm
But
only guessing. This has none of the information, but I mean, as well from what I read online. I talked about this before. I think the system is that remember I told you how when those Monarchs came, they said, "Why is this thing helping humans?" I think the
mhm.
system is the one that's helping the human right now, which helping Wu. I feel so the system is. I'm only guessing. I'm only guessing. I feel so the system is trying to stop these other monsters coming from the other gate right there. I don't know, but it's like I think that's what the monsters were referring to about like the non-human side, which I'm only guessing. I'm only
I
guessing.
think I think that the system is personally only fucking with Jinwoo because if
Possibly.
Jinwoo because when he transformed to his taller model version, um, he lost some like emotion, like pretty
Mhm.
noticeably. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're right, and I sorry to cut you off. Right, he did say
And
when he
it's
kills a human, I lose
mhm,
my humanity.
and lose my
He said in season
humanity.
one.
And
Oh,
the system's like, hey, you better murk them dudes or we're done with you. So it just
Yeah,
makes him do it, and then that's why he's all stone cold now, which I forget sometimes. Because I know people are like, oh, he's ore farming, but it's like, no, literally, he's losing his humanity. Like,
every time he
because
has to,
he's murdering thousands of things, like, all the
even
time.
that crazy guy from season one that loved to kill other people, he mentioned
Hmm.
that too.
Yeah. His bloodlust or something like that was like crazy. And he's like, wait, what?
Speaking
not
of blows, remember at the end of one episode, it's like, wait, I want to see how strong this monster is. I know it's a game, but let me go take a peek right there. Like he was
Yeah.
itching, like I'm itching, I'm itching to see
He's
what the guy
always
can do, like
itching
Oscar can do
to
right there. Like,
scrap something stronger than him. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
Yeah, I'm interested to see. That's the whole losing his humanity thing. Like, especially
mm,
at the end when you see half of him and half of his glowy eyes, like his shadow form
I
almost.
yeah.
love
And then like him against the king, he started like getting like that. And then
Hmm.
what I really want to hit on is sometimes in anime intros, like as I've learned, like watching anime, like
Heavy,
they
heavy spoiler. Yeah.
foreshadowing and stuff.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, spoilers to
Yeah.
a degree. Like
Not like
you can see
JJK.
his.
The first intro of JJK was some bullshit. That line right there. But go
What,
on.
It was
specials?
clever. It got me though. I was pissed, but it got me. Like
Yeah,
on a season one thing,
yeah,
like but
yeah,
yeah, when you see his not younger technically, but like Jinwoo before the reawakening, you can
yeah,
see him before the reawakening and him post reawakening. Like you can see both forms of him, and like his post reawakening form is like in the forefront, doing all these things, climbing up the demon's castle, like all the stuff you're going to see in the season. But then towards the end of that opening, you see his older version like in the flowers, almost like resting, and then
Hmm.
in the closing you see post reawakening Jinwoo like in the throne chair and like walking around, but then you see the pre reawakening Jinwoo like running around scared, frightened, and like kind of the opposite of post. I'm like, why are they showing both forms? Like, is it just aesthetically like that, or is there going to become a point where the system takes away all of his powers and is
Hmm.
like he's back to his normal self again?
Which would be
Will there be
so
a point of
cool
that?
if they
Yeah,
just strip him of his medals.
yeah. They could possibly do that. I mean, his
Yeah.
his his younger self, his older brother, just looked dead in that intro. I'm like, is he dead? Like he looked dead.
right.
Mm.
Yeah.
He looked
Or like,
dead.
is he temporarily sleeping? Kind of like that. That was an interesting visual. Like every time I watched it, I'm
Or
like, ooh,
the way I interpret it was like that side of him is dead. It's gone now.
That
yeah,
that
It's
that
just
I can
seems
see
to
not
be
that.
it too.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like he's
But
dead and
yeah.
he's not coming back. And I'm sure he doesn't want to go get. And I'm sure he doesn't want to go back to his old stuff at all. He's like, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Right there,
Yeah.
I don't deal with
Being the
that. But
weakest.
also, he's also gonna make his own guild too, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, here we go. We got a comment right here. Vegas underscore shorty. Haven't seen so low yet, but I'll add it to the list.
That's my friend VS, by the way. What's going on,
Oh,
VS?
shout out to
Okay,
that.
I figured somebody there. Yo, VS, I recommend it. I recommend it right now. I said we might have said some spoilers right there in this discussion right there, but like I would watch. I said it's only 30 episodes a season right there. It's only 2 seasons right there, so I feel as though you should probably watch it now because they haven't said any news of season 3. They said possibly 2027 because the animation is going to be like really,
Ah,
really,
I
really,
was about to
really
say
fire.
they cannot keep cranking this stuff out.
nah.
In a
Like,
year, yeah. No,
there's no
in a
way.
year, no. You can't do it within a year. Because, like I said, this is just me. Anytime where there's an anime that comes out a year from each other, I'm like, because I'm not a creative anime, but I know animation takes time right there. So,
Well, as the bar rises every year,
What's
Actually,
that's
that
a
is
good
a good
question.
question. That's a great
Yeah,
question.
it's not
That's a-
Mappa.
I think
no,
it's I think they're called A1
A1.
Pictures.
Yes, A1
Yes,
Pictures. Yeah,
yeah, the
I'll double
A1
check.
picture. Yeah, there we go. Yes,
A1 Pictures. Yeah,
A1
I
picture
think
right
they're
there. Yes.
new. So that's another thing. These Korean studios. So for me, I'm noticing Korea and China are jumping heavily into the anime and the video game
Yes.
market, and they're crushing it.
If you're Japan, you might
And
be nervous as
America
hell
is
right now.
losing. If I mean, we're dropping the ball on Pixar movies. I mean, everything
Sure.
is going by the wayside. We need to be
America does a lot of
careful.
Retarded.
things. We suck.
Yeah,
We suck.
Western games and like animation have just like not been able to keep up. So I'm like, there's so much content out there that they can adapt. Like for one, Mushoku Tensei is like one of my favorites. It's a light novel, but I highly recommend it. Incredible show. And for them to just take that, those are all Korean manhwas, and they just or light novels to take it. Same with ReZero. No, I think ReZero is Japanese, but that's a light novel. But
Here's a
they're
Japanese,
doing
yeah.
great work coming out the gate here.
Mhm.
They're saying that manhwas might be the way to go now.
No, I can't. No,
I can't
manga's
see
still
it
better.
either, but
Manga's
they're
way
like on the
better.
right. No, yeah, no,
Manga
no,
is way
but
better.
they're like on the rise, like you said, Korean, Chinese, like they're dabbing into the anime world right now, and it's
But
like,
here's the thing about manhwa, they're all like solo leveling.
Really?
Yeah,
in terms of like, in terms
that'd
of
be
what?
awesome. In terms of storyline and
Nice.
just yeah, that actually is dope.
I wish
Yeah.
I know how to speak Japanese. Yeah, I
I
wish I know how to
know.
speak Japanese. I need the time, but like I don't have the time to do that though.
It's like the hardest language to learn.
Well, technically English is, but we got spoiled and we got lucky with that.
Both
Yeah.
English, Japanese, and Russian apparently are the
Yeah.
hardest.
But
I only said like a few words.
the interesting thing about Japanese languages, like, and I kind of know this from like watching sub animes, like you kind of pick up on the ways that they
You
talk.
do,
It's almost like they
yeah.
say
Yeah.
the sentences
Mm-hmm.
backwards, and sometimes
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a way,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Especially if you like go to Google Translate and put it in. It's like
Hmm.
very fragmented and like it's almost
Yeah.
like Spanish. It like everything is backwards for us. Like
Yeah,
here I met him instead of I met him here, like weird stuff.
yeah.
But the really trippy thing about it is like because I'm crazy about One Piece, so I'll watch a video and it'll be like, here's what you missed from the language because our language is fucking vastly different. So there's six meanings to this word, and there's a kanji for this word that can mean earth, but it also means sea under the salt. And I'm like, fuck, dude, am I even like grasping what's going on?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's interesting, yeah.
it
Which
is.
is really cool. Okay, Hunter x Hunter allegations.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I
the
caught.
ant arc.
Yeah,
The Hunter Association, the licenses, the
I have no
guild.
idea what you're talking about.
I
I
caught
have
it
no idea
from
what you're talking
season
about.
one though. Like I
Oh
caught it
no.
from season one because because the minute they mentioned the hunters, I thought about Hunter x Hunter, but I was like, okay, they're not really like the guy. I would say at the end of the day, post season two, after seeing the Ant King and all the ants and stuff, that whoever is writing the manhwa or the original
Yeah.
story, he had to be inspired by
Oh, of
Togashi
course.
in
Yeah.
the
Of
original
course,
story. Had to be.
inspired. Definitely inspired by Togashi, which isn't a bad thing.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
But
I'll tell you, this is one of the best.
the
One of the best
Hunter x
animes out
Hunter's Ant arc was like its swan song. So like when I heard ants and then I saw the Japanese and people coming together to form teams,
there.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, and then he just beat his ass. I was like, we could have used any other creature. You could have done beetles, lizards, dragons, anything else,
We're gonna
Yeah.
but
use the Ant
ants on
King.
an island. Come on, man. Like,
That was
It
our
does feel
original
like a speed
idea.
run.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was our original idea right there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
Stole his
that is
whole
funny.
flow.
That
Yeah,
is funny. It's a good point.
yeah.
So I think we talked about like all we need to talk about Solo Leveling 2 right there. So like, what's your closing argument to Solo Leveling 2? Because there are a few more times I want to talk about right there, but like, what's your closing argument for Solo Leveling 2 right there? Like, I know it's early right there, but like for me, I would say it's definitely one of the best animes in 2025 right now. It's not to say that you shouldn't watch the other ones, but I feel the Solo Leveling season 2, you know, it's like might finish in the top 10 of anime 2025 right there. We still have a long way to go, but I feel as though like season two delivered. I thought season two delivered, especially of how it ended with with the oral form right there. Like that was just a chef's kiss. Especially when we saw like Beru's intro right there. I was like,
Yes.
man, I ain't trying to fight this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
I'm
I
gonna
want
put
those.
it second for my favorite of the spring winter season, just because I'm such a huge ReZero fan, and it takes like 3 years to get seasons of those, and I freaking love
So,
that show.
is it fair to put Reese in there because it was the second part of the third season, right? Like it's still like
It was the third season. It just broken into two cores.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like could you add that with this year? Because I mean, technically they come out this year, but it's like it was like a
I
second
put it.
part
It's in
of
the same season. It's in the winter spring season. They usually do it in like quarters, couple month quarters.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think about what I've because the only thing I'm comparing Solo to in terms of what I watched like this year and this season is Dragon Ball Daima, and
I never watched Time.
oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about there.
Solo's better.
Yeah.
But
So,
Daima
yeah,
Daima
Solo's
isn't a
better.
bad show. I have not loaded
Yeah,
thoughts on
it's cool.
Daima.
Like it's for
but I've-
Dragon Ball fans. I did it. We did a
yeah,
discussion. Me and Kai did an episode. Did an episode about it. It's
Yeah.
like stuff doesn't make any sense in it, but
I
like
just couldn't. I
It's
just
Dragon
couldn't. I
it's
saw
Dragon
that.
Ball.
Yeah.
I love Dragon Ball Z, but a lot of things don't make sense in Dragon Ball Z. But I'm like I just take it as it is. Like it was Tokuyama. It was the last work of Tokuyama right there, and I appreciate that. So like
Oh,
I'm
that
sure
was
respect for
his
that.
last work,
That was
wasn't
his
it?
last work right there. So like it
Damn.
had its
Rest
moments.
in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. But yeah, it had its moments, but like it wasn't the best. And like I said, like it started off in October, and then it just I don't know if I would add it to 2025 because like it only appeared for only like a couple episodes here.
yeah.
But it's like it was cool. I said it's for Dragon Ball fans. Like, is it
Seeing
like
YouTube
they
clips of
they said
different
it's canon?
forms was crazy.
Yeah, they say it's canon, which to me I'm like, well, it's
Is
canon. Things
it?
don't make it. Yeah, it said it's canon, but that's over a different day right there.
My thing is I think they did say it was canon in the beginning, but then they just said no. This is it's like an alternative canon.
If
'Cause, like,
something, okay.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
takes place after Z, so you don't know Super Saiyan God, no Super Saiyan Blue, and
Mhm.
all that.
Yeah.
If they did place it in the
Oh,
canon,
okay.
it would like conflict with that because then people are going to be like, well, why didn't you use Super Saiyan 4 against Jiren or something like that?
So
But
one
then
would have been like if they went out to space, the other like gods or no gods, basically.
Yeah.
in a way, yes,
Yeah.
In a way,
like,
yeah.
and it's kind of it could work in
You
the
don't look
canon,
enthused.
like because they don't know that gods exist technically
Oh, okay,
in
okay.
Daima.
That makes sense.
So
They learn
and we
about the
do know
Supreme
what the demon
Kais a
world is.
bit in this one as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But also at the end of the day, it's like had they been in their adult forms, they would have stunned this person.
of course.
Basically the evil guy, the main guy had to use a cheat code.
I hated the cheat code because
Yeah,
even when they were kids, this is what frustrated me. Even when they were kids, they would have gotten him if it wasn't for that eye respawning. Vegeta would have
here's the
gotten
thing.
him.
Ralph doesn't care. I'm not saying he never should have used the eye. I at least
Mhm.
want to see like what can he do without that. Then it's like, okay, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm losing right now. Let me use the eye. No, because they're all saying, oh, here's his fearful rule right there. I'm like, well, I actually fear for him because immediately he used the eye. Like I said, let him fight without the eye. Let me see what he can do at first. Then if things get choked from, okay, then you can use the eye. But no, use the eye from the start. So it's like I can't reach you how strong because it's like we were doing it because of you had the skills, we were doing it because it was all the eye. And to me, it was all the eye. That's pretty much it right there. But
Yeah.
we can talk about that for another day right there. But like I said,
And one more thing I want to add to it, just like one thing. I think my interpretation of Daima is like it doesn't make sense in some places, especially with the ending and how they whipped out Super Saiyan 4, which looked cool, but it doesn't make sense plot wise. Comes out of nowhere. But I think what Toriyama wanted to make this as like a celebration of Dragon Ball, and I think that helps for seeing it how I think that's the context that people needed. It's like you get the adventure of the OG Dragon Ball when Goku was a kid. They're just looking
Yes.
for the Dragon Balls. It's the timeline placement and power set of Z, and then the GT elements of like they turn into kids and you add Super Saiyan 4 and stuff like that. Then you get the animation and production quality of Super. So like put all that together, and given that it's like the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball, I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't supposed to be taken seriously right there. It's for like fans for us to enjoy right there, and I enjoyed it. I did.
I love how like the fan service in Dragon Ball Z isn't like boobs; it's like forms. It's just like you want something, you want to see something sexy. Here's another new form, like his 10th one. So it's just
But
like,
they do
now
both
he's red,
with
like
Bulma.
with a tail. Like what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. I mean, I've only seen clips on YouTube, but it just reminded me of like how. I guess it makes sense now. Y'all saying that it happened after Z. They didn't have the gods because Beast Gohan makes perfect sense. Like they're more beast-like. The Saiyans, they're monsters, beasts. Yeah, and for him to go for like that would have been the natural progression, especially since they hoed him out of GT and decided to make it themselves. So him like, all right, y'all want to fuck with my shit? Here's my four. Like, and Vegeta got no part of that.
Nope.
Yeah.
So you're saying that RE0 is your top anime 2025 right now, Ralph?
I've been
where do
rocking
you
with
put?
ReZero for probably 8 years now, almost.
Wow.
Jeez, dude. Yeah.
And
7
it's
or
just
8.
now at season 3?
Yeah, it's been a while from what I can remember. Well, maybe 6. I remember
Oh,
the
yo.
first season was like 2019 or something.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. All right, and now where did you put Solo Leveling season 2? Do you put as like your favorite anime 2025 so far? Or we put at least put in your top.
So far, yeah, probably at the top. When we get to April stuff, that's when I'm gonna have more of a 2025 ranking, I would say.
Yeah,
because there's so much.
Speaking of, before we get to April thing, you know, some people are calling Solo Leveling season 2 an isekai, and I'm like, where y'all?
It has isekai elements, but it's not an isekai.
It's not isekai.
I mean, low key, like his old self died basically.
But he's not. He's still in the same world.
I know. He's in the same world.
It's
But he's a
it's
different
like, but
person.
no, it's elements of it, but it's not like an actual
Well,
isekai. Right
hell,
there.
hold on a minute. Did he die in the first episode? He just passes out. Has he lost a leg? He had blood loss for 2 hours, and then he just like
What's that?
wakes up in the hospital.
Was that the first episode?
Yeah, or second,
Oh,
whatever.
the second episode.
Yeah,
But he definitely died. Well,
he died.
he
They
died,
threw the
right?
axe on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he straight up died. Yeah.
No, they killed the shit out of him.
Dude, no, that was a
murdered the
terrible
hell
death
out.
right there.
It's like
Dude,
six
like, he was
five
suffering.
dudes,
Merciless.
big axes, like
Yeah,
He's
they
suffering,
were
yeah.
merciless.
You know, he had his arm and his leg already dead right there. Like it was.
He was bleeding out.
Yeah,
Like
that was a scary way to die right there. A very scary way to die.
mhm.
Very scary.
that was such a
But-
good hook for the first 2 episodes. I
Yeah,
knew
that
people
shit
were
kept
gonna fuck with it when I watched it, and I was like, "This is why I like this. This is
Mhm.
really dope. It's such a good hook." Yeah.
Now, speaking of April, I'm saying that April is like a lot of heavy hitters coming out. This
I don't
month
know
right
anything coming out. So enlighten me, please.
there. Well, Fire Force season 3 is coming back. You're not in the Fire
I'm a
Force.
huge fan, but season 2 is like, what happened? I feel like they dropped the ball a little.
It kind of lost you.
No,
I don't
like,
watch Fire Force.
I
I'm just
read
like,
I read the entire manga. It's one of my favorites ever because I'm a fan of another series, and I don't want to. I'm not even gonna make any connections, so it can be fresh for y'all. But
Yeah.
like,
You talking about Soul
I
Eater?
don't know. Yeah, damn. Yeah, Soul Eater is so gas. If they ever remake that, it's gonna catch
Well,
the world on
I
fire.
That they
just
said-
watched it.
Black
They,
Star.
they said they're supposed to make a remake in 2027. Apparently,
That was
Really?
April Fool's. That was April Fool's.
was that?
Don't.
Oh my!
They
that was
said
only.
that-
Knuckles.
I hate it too. I want to see a remake as well because I just got on the anime like literally 2 months ago through one of my other
The
friends.
characters are
Yeah.
so dope. Maka and what's his name? Soul are amazing. Black Star is just like a goon.
Black Star's my favorite.
Black Star is
Black Star-
such a goon. He's like I love that character. It's just fucking sick. But anyway, yeah, something happened last season where I don't know if the animation dropped, like the kicks weren't hitting. The kicks weren't kicking. I don't know. Maybe I'm being like judgmental. I gotta
I'll see.
rewatch it then.
I would rewatch it and see what they do
But
right
I'm
there.
excited for season. Is this gonna be the last season? Are they adapting
It's
the
the
rest of
last. So
it?
it's bringing it 2 parts. So it's going to be part 1, and then part 2 is going to be January 2026. That's going to be the final season.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, like a full season, but a part 2.
Yes.
Okay,
Like
'cause
how Doctor
they've made a
Stone is
lot of
doing.
ground. They've made a lot of ground in season 2, so they definitely can do it. But it's gonna be really, really, really good. I can't wait for that.
Now,
Cool,
we
cool,
also
cool.
have Windbreaker season 2. I like the first season.
No,
What's up with that? Dang, that's 2 animes that I said right there. That Instagram me fucking with right there.
no.
Dang, so
We were watching it at the same time, me and you. Remember? And then I dropped it after the theater fight. I was like, oh hell no, this is Tokyo
really?
Revengers
Well,
on
they said they said it's a
steroids.
better version of Tokyo
It
Revenge
is
because
much
the main
better,
character's not
but
crying.
I just don't get like what kind of school are y'all going to? What are we learning here?
You can say
Is it,
the
I
same thing
came
about
here
Bushi
to whoop.
last year. The niggas were just fighting.
No degrees, no curriculum. He's like, yeah, I came here to whoop some ass. They're like, good. Come on in my wing.
That's all I need to know. You came here to fight to the score right there. That's all I need to know.
I think
all I need
low
to
key,
know.
I was hoping it would end up like some Yu Yu Hakusho shit. It just slightly gave me like Yusuke vibes where you're just in the school with Kuwabara and you're just scrapping
Oh,
people. And
yes,
but
it's
I
kind of
kind of
really
like
good.
wanted that.
Also, love the name So 11. Kind of like the personal progress you make on your own, and that's a power within its
Yeah.
help. It's a good thing to take advantage. I mean, yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah.
He
Hell yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah.
He definitely
Yeah.
is.
Some
Like
would
They
say
especially
literally-
when
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially when the side carries ain't doing shit. Even the
I
side's like
know.
it's called So 11 for a reason.
Yeah. So
I
low
like
as
that.
hell.
Yes. I
So
like
low as
that.
hell.
But no, wait. So wait, now did you watch Windbreaker at all?
Yes, I watched season 1. I actually watched it right after I watched Solo Leveling like last year because I think it came out.
Came out around the same time too.
Yeah. And then
It's like
was,
Tama energy.
Jinwoo did get One Punch Man comparisons.
Yes,
People
he
compared them.
did.
Yeah.
Yo, where did I see Invincible? Do you guys watch Invincible?
Yes.
So they snuck
I'm-
in Saitama. Did you see that?
I heard
Where?
There's a One Punch Man in there. He's a Two Punch Man. It's a parody. And he never gets another punch off. So he was there during the Viltrumite War. Somebody on YouTube caught this. It blew my mind.
I need to
But
go back
like
and
in
watch that. I
every
missed
scene
that.
he's in, he only gets one punch, and when he's just about to go for the second one, he gets clocked. And I'm like, wait, and he looks just like Saitama. It's amazing.
I need to watch that back. But yeah,
Two Punch Man, it's incredible.
I did watch
That's crazy right there.
I did watch Windbreaker. I really liked it. That is another see these I feel like some of these seasons with the newer animes are like 12 episodes is low key not enough to like fully be like okay, this could be a full show.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
I
the
did
old school,
like
and you talking right now.
Yeah,
That's the old
dude.
school, you
Yes,
talking
exactly.
right now.
You
I
go
need
from
more to,
52
like-
to 24, and we're getting 12 now. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, yo.
like at least Jujutsu Kaisen, like if I were to compare it to another season, Jujutsu Kaisen
Mhm.
season 1, that has like the full. If you were to cut it off at season 1, mind you, there's more they could do. Like obviously season 2 and 3 coming soon.
Yeah.
But like if you cut it off at season 1, that's like a full show. You can at least have a through line there. Windbreaker is low key just that one arc with
Yeah.
the other school, which is good and interesting. And I love their fights. Like it's very grounded.
The fights
like, you don't
were
have all
good.
the powers and stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's great
you
kung
do
fu
feel
fighter
the
right
fights.
there. Like nothing with no power blast, no energy blast and shit like that. It's just straight kung fu fighter right there. And each of them had a different style of fighting too.
Yes, that's why I like the
That was the coolest part to me, though, for sure. The different styles, not coming
Yeah.
from like but they're not like raised in a dojo or anything. They're like that kid can just scrap like hell, which is like a real life thing. Some people can just fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're just
Street
born
fighting.
being able to fight.
Everybody was kung fu
Exactly.
fighting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool for sure.
Especially the kid with the eye patch. I forgot. I think Suo is his name.
He's
Disrespected
mysterious.
that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He
And I wanna see his
scared.
story.
He's son like all those guys were talking mad shit until when they fought them was like little like no belt to ass, belt to
Yeah.
ass, belt to ass. All those motherfuckers right
He's
there.
like, "Did you just lose?" They're like, "Yo, kill him." They're like, "What?"
Right.
I was like,
You,
They're
can't,
like,
you
"You're
don't
gone
you
now.
can't
You're
wear the
trash."
jacket anymore right there.
Yeah,
Oh, you
he
lost?
was like, "You're
Give me your
trash.
fucking
Take your
jacket, dude.
jacket off." I
Like
do
they were
remember that.
this was him. This was him.
You're sorry, all right. You're the sorriest motherfucker in this motherfucker.
That's he was right there. Then they lost and it's like she's sorry.
Yeah, like, yeah,
Right
that shit was kind of crazy. What else is coming out? I'm interested now.
Devil May Cry tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Devil May Cry. Listen, they had
Like-
me at the Limp Bizkit preview. When I heard Limp Bizkit, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch that."
And
Yeah.
like knowing the game, Devil May Cry didn't have the best story, but the gameplay was always fun. Wait, like the
Hey,
story was
man.
okay. It wasn't
It's just,
like
it's
wasn't
just
like
two brothers fighting over the same shit for 4 games, 5.
it was
but
cool, but like it wasn't
it's
like
good.
groundbreaking story.
I'm messing. I know it's not. It's
No.
bare bones
no.
of shit.
Yeah, the game. I'm about to say the gameplay is great, and that's what I expect in this anime. I'm not expecting a world breaking story. I'm expecting good animation in these fights right there. That's what I expected right there. And you got Johnny Young Bosch voicing Dante right there. So I'm like,
Oh,
you
really?
know what?
Nice.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of fun because the timing of this is like we're celebrating Devil May Cry 3's 20th anniversary right there. So I feel as though this is like the perfect time to
Dude,
release this anime right here.
if you ever get a chance, play that game. Everyone needs to play that game. That was
Which
Dark
one?
Souls before Dark Souls. Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah, the game's
That
not easy.
That game, like, nowadays I'll fight a boss 30 times and I'm like, oh, I'm just learning the moveset because that's just such a Souls-like thing to do nowadays. But back then, like, being young, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. How the hell am I
Yep.
supposed to beat this shit?
You have to
I'm
learn
running
the
out of
combo
heals,
and everything.
like,
It's not
but it
it's
was
not
so
just
much
fun
fun.
mashing.
It's not. It's calculated. I love it though.
I love like the I think I got into Devil May Cry through the characters. I never actually played the game, but I watched it and I heard the music of it too because the
The
music
music
I
is
used in
so good. Yeah,
other videos and stuff.
music
They-
is so dope.
They
yeah.
say that I haven't played 2. I heard 2 was terrible.
Don't play 2.
Sorry.
I rented
I
it
heard
as a
that.
kid. I beat it in one night. I'll just spoil it for you because it's so bad. You fight like 4 bosses, right? And the worst, most bland levels. And then at the end, it puts them together like a casserole. It's like one arm of one boss, a tentacle of another boss, like a monkey head. It was just, and it's just a blob. It just like spits fireball. I was like, is this Devil May Cry? What the fuck happened between this and the first one? And then 3 came out, and that like solidified legend status. That game
I
was
think it's-
insane.
I think it's funny because I feel as though 3 is what got me into Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that same year Resident Evil 4 came out.
Yeah.
And that's another
Oh,
game that a
man.
lot that got people into play Resident Evil was Resident Evil 4 right
Yeah.
there. So Resident Evil 4 and Devil May Cry 3 were game changers because they're already a popular series, but those 2 games just got everybody playing that
Mhm.
game right there. So like
Yeah.
those are legendary status right there.
Oh yeah.
They are. Yeah. Now, to NightHawk's point, he says he loves My Hero Academia. We got My Hero Academia Vigilante is coming out on the 7th right there. And I'm like, I've always been a fan of Vigilantes right there because like you're taking the law into your own hands right there. It's like it's street justice. Now,
Yeah.
I know it takes 5 years before the actual real events of My Hero Academia. So I'm thinking to myself, are they gonna tie in some of this to the final season? I don't know, but it's potentially maybe.
I don't think they do because like how he first off I would think I'm wondering how long this season is going to be for Vigilante.
That's what I'm wondering too.
Yeah, like are they and is the Vigilantes manga done or is it still running? Because that's important.
Vigilantes is hella slice of life though, in my opinion.
Really?
Mhm.
It's much more toned down. Like, I think My Hero. I think the way when I first started My Hero, I was such a big fan because I don't watch the anime of it, just because the manga had such good art and
Mhm.
like Bones just some things you can't recreate in the anime medium. You just like have to read it. Like Berserk, they've made like 4 different animes and they're just never gonna get it right, so just leave it alone, please. But like the artwork, the line work in
I
My
hate
Hero
the ending. I hate the
Academia,
fucking ending.
yeah. Well, there's much more. It's still ongoing, but
Berserk is?
yeah, it's still ongoing.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Wow.
So
Okay.
Miura, before he died, gave his best friend the manuscripts, and
Mhm.
he'd been helping with it for years. So he's like, "Oh, just," he told him to finish it because he knew he was gonna die, which is kind of crazy. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, I know. But yeah, back to academia. It just like I think it took some of the darkness out of it from the anime. Um, which is the like
I
Shigaraki to
didn't
me
know
is
that.
such a dope character, and like some of the moments he has doesn't really give the weight that like when I was first seeing it, I was like, oh shit, like he literally erased a town of people. And like,
Yes.
but like just I don't know. It
But
gave like horror vibes almost. And I
yeah,
don't get that from
Wow.
the anime sometimes.
I can see your point with that because like a lot of people complained about season 5 where they did the
Mm-hmm.
My Villain Academia arc
Yeah,
where
that
they
Yeah.
arc was my favorite arc in the entire story. It was so good, but they
yeah,
chopped it up and rushed it. I don't know why. And
it,
they
it's
should have made that its own season that would have like goat status
Because
that
it
show.
was half
yeah.
of Deku like using his new powers, and then half of
Mm-hmm.
the actual.
Shigaraki getting his new
Okay, so
power.
then, so pretty much what I saw was an appetizer of what the manga had then.
Mm-hmm.
More it's like more like a rut like so season 5 like started off with the what when did they show they showed the Deca City destruction
Yes,
in
Deku
the
City.
middle, then they
Yeah.
showed how it got to that point at
Mm-hmm.
the ending for like
The
5
ending.
6 episodes.
Yeah.
They in the manga from what I understand it's like they show villain academia first, then
Mm-hmm.
Deca City is
Then
like Deca
Deca
City is
City.
destroyed, then they go
Exactly.
into the Endeavor teaching the
Mm-hmm.
work studies with
Work
the
study, yeah.
Endeavor and the
Yeah.
Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki.
Mm-hmm.
So like someone said that the reason why it worked better in the manga than the shows is to show like, hey, these villains are getting more powerful behind the scenes,
Way, way more powerful.
way more
Like
powerful. And he wrote the villains way too powerfully, by the way.
he
Like they
did.
are unstoppable. And
I
it's
mean,
like, how are the
Shigaraki is
heroes even
like
supposed to go
you
against him?
can't touch him. He regenerates
Yeah.
everything. Like you cannot touch him. Like you
Mhm.
evaporate into. That's a terrifying power to have. Like,
It's a
but it's
terrible,
such a
awful
dope
power.
power to have for a villain. I think
But
it's like,
even to have
and
a terrible power, right there, they still have uh all for one still manipulate that
In
guy.
his
Like that's
prime.
just
in his prime. But
Yeah, it's
the coolest thing about Shigaraki's power is the aspect and what I think Horikoshi tries to bring home, and he does a good job of it. Is like even though he can kill all of his enemies, he also can kill anyone he loves or like his friends. I think
mhm.
that's what made Shigaraki so cool to me. Is like he can't get close to anyone because if you
yeah.
touch anyone, they die. Which was
His
like I
past
was
life
like,
was rough.
yeah, his life was
It
fucked
was
up.
Well, I'm not
Like,
gonna
very.
lie, I was scared. I forgot what season it was when Shigaraki was talking to Deku early on, like in like hiding his face. And they're like, he could have
oh
easily ended
yeah,
Deku right there.
oh
He
yeah,
could
he
have
Yeah.
could have.
easily ended him
What
right
when they
there.
were like at the mall or something?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
end of
Yeah,
season
and he
2.
walked
I
up
love
on him,
that part.
started whispering. Yeah,
I
that was
was like,
hard.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
ended
that
But
right
was
there.
dope.
but yeah, they and I will say season 6 people complained about the war arc too. I love the war arc personally because I
Hmm.
didn't read the manga and I
Oh,
didn't have the
okay,
Talking
yeah,
context
about
back
season
then.
6.
Yeah, season 6 and the beginning of season 7 too because people were like, "Oh my god, blue sky again." Because like it messes up with the tone. But then when
yeah.
it started raining and it was like gray and stuff in season 7, I'm like, "Okay, now I feel it." And the same thing with like Dark Hero arc, I think that was closer to the manga style because
Yeah.
like you could hear it in
See, that
Justin
arc
Briner's
was
voice acting. He
yeah.
progressively got darker with Deku.
hmm
Like his mental
That
was messed up.
that arc was great. I think they did a fantastic job in the anime, and I got excited and I wanted it like Stars and Stripes. That's probably my favorite fight in the entire series.
It's
Oh,
The
another
interesting.
Stars
character.
and
That's
Stripes fight.
another good character they introduced, and they just killed him off. Like
I
I
mean,
don't.
Yeah.
she was just, but the fight itself, like when I remember weekly, because you only get like 15 to 18 chapters, and I'd be done in like 2 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta wait a week. I'm like, this is
Mhm.
crazy. But that fight was just so good. Like,
And their quirk
her
is amazing
power was
too.
amazing. Her what?
The quirk.
Oh yeah, her quirk. Yeah, her quirk was incredible. Like being able to take what was it like the
It's a,
concept of something
it's
You
a
can
and
rule
say
or
a
something like
rule
you
that.
and
It's
say
a
a
it'll
rule.
rule.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is
Like
so dope. Like what a dope power.
when
Like
I heard the description at first, I was like, okay, so how is she gonna go up against Shigaraki with this? And once she
Yeah.
said like
yeah.
if he moves from this spot, his heart stops, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah,
that's how it
that shit
is.
is
Yeah.
sick. I love it.
Yeah.
But
That's like some
clearly,
god. That's God fearing power right there.
it
Even when she
is.
died, her rules were
She
still offending the
came.
motherfucker right
Yes,
there. Like, it was
yeah. The
Yeah.
like,
rule's
yeah, I'm
still in
dead, but I still
effect.
got you right
I
there.
still got your ass.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
then I mean, they hit him with a nuke, and I was like, this is so dope. I was like, Horikoshi, let's go.
Mhm.
But
But we
yeah,
gotta see how it ends. But like I said, the vigilantes, like I said, it looks good. Cause I'm more the
Mhm.
vigilante guy right there, so I'm looking forward to it. But like you said, it's like slice left, so I'm like, okay, but maybe it might be different in the anime though. I don't know. They might
Yeah.
tone it down a
no, I
bit.
mean, it gets to a point. It's just way more grounded. That's what I should say. I shouldn't say slice of life. It's much more
Okay.
grounded. You're not in like the top hero class in the world kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
Well, we'll
yeah,
see how it goes.
and it's
Now,
funny too.
do you guys watch Go Go Loser Ranger at all?
I
I
watched a
want
few.
I wanted to, I didn't, I couldn't get to it. It's on my list though. One of my friends is a Power Ranger fan. Like she said that I would like it. But yeah.
It's interesting because if you like The Boys, is like the anime version of The Boys, pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where it's like we're Power Rangers, but it's like I would say like the main leader is basically like the Homelander.
Homelander,
It's
yeah.
basically the Homelander right there, and
Mhm.
you're cheering for the villain. The villain is the protagonist. The so-called hero, he's the antagonist right there. But it's good. Is it the greatest thing? I think the build-up is a little bit slow, but it gets better in probably the second half of season one. But things are getting interesting right now. They're getting interesting, and I'm wanting to see if I don't want to say too much right there, but like basically like the villain is trying to break in their headquarters and kill them off one by one. So
Mm.
the end of the first half, the end of the first season was like pretty good. So I
What
wonder how
season
much
is
is
it
planned.
on? Two?
It's season two.
Should be yeah, it should be
Okay.
two.
No.
Yeah, so you can watch it on
I might need to get back to that.
yeah, you can watch it on Hulu. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But my favorite anime that's coming out this month is Lazarus. We talked about that a little bit in the intro, but like the fact they have the same director, Watanabe directing Cowboy
Not bad.
Bebop, Samurai Champloo, music's gonna be great. Interest already great. You got the John Wick director Chad. I know I can't pronounce his last name,
Oh,
but he's
really?
he's working
Is
on
that
the
why the
action
fight
choreography.
choreography was
Yeah,
crazy? I was like,
yes,
who's coming up with
Mm.
this? Oh my god, it's
yes,
gonna be so good.
it's him right there. So it's like they're pulling all the stuff right there. And I only heard about this anime last year, and what
Same. I've been
I heard
waiting.
about it last year, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this plot seems interesting right there. But like, I didn't know it's by Mappa. I didn't know it's by Watanabe. I know it's same
It's
John Wick
Mappa?
direct. Yes, Mappa too.
Yo,
Dang,
where have I
yeah.
been? Oh my gosh. It's gonna
Yeah,
be so
like
good.
they aren't fucking around with this
Holy
thing. Now
shit.
it's only going to be only 13 episodes, but
That's
I
fine.
trust I trust what they're doing right there because it's getting a lot of hype right now. Like I'm happy, but I'm nervous for it. But like I said, Watanabe's history, his track record shows, yo, I can do it. Like I saw the trailer, I saw the clips right there. It's definitely Cowboy Bebop vibes, well, up to date animation and whatnot. But the 5 people on there, they look pretty cool. Like I said, I'm hoping the characters are cool. Because I feel still, what's an obvious anime, he always introduces cool characters right there. But like he's also in touch with the culture as well, with the jazzy music. Like Samurai Champloo was rap music. Cowboy was jazz. This was jazzy as well too. So it's like he knows what the culture's fair right there. I can't say nothing but good things about this anime right there. I'm like,
Samurai
even though we haven't
Champloo
seen it right
has-
there.
No, sorry. Cowboy Bebop has the best anime opening out of any anime, hands down. In my opinion,
It's one of the best.
Hands
It's
down.
one of the
It is
best.
the best.
And
for me.
every anime party you go to, you hear that song.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah,
Most anime
like,
parties I go to, you always hear it.
Mm,
9 times out of 10, you always hear
that
it.
shit. Yeah.
But now, great. I'm not saying this intro is better than Cowboy Bebop. I don't think. No, I'm not saying that. But like this intro for Lazarus right there, like it's trippy, it's jazzy. Like I love it, man. Like I said, I've been listening to it almost every day. So I started listening to it yesterday. I'm like, oh, let me listen to this intro right now. I'm like, oh shit.
I
this
haven't
intro
even
is
heard
fire
it,
right
so now I'm excited to hear it.
yeah. Does Lazarus start? It starts this week, right?
It starts this weekend. It starts on Adult Swim, and then the next day it'll be on Max.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
What day? I forgot.
Saturday at midnight.
Midnight?
So technically
Done.
Sunday. Basically, like how
Got
Ninja
it,
Kamui
okay.
was.
Yeah, Ninja. Oh, on that point, so people were like, "I hope it's not another Ninja Kamui." 'cause
That's
remember
exactly what I was telling you, Knuckles. I was like,
how
I
it
hope
got steam.
it's not a Uzumaki or it's not a Kamui.
Yeah.
But that's
They-
Adult Swim, though. It's not. They have different directors and everything.
I know, but they got some say because they're putting up the cash for it. They're producing that shit. So,
Mhm.
I
Man,
don't
you
think
you
it will
barely
be.
you barely Watanabe work right there. Fuck it, also, but yo, y'all know who I am. Y'all know my history right there. You let me work how I want to work there. Yo, y'all work for
I'm
me right there.
sure. I'm
Nah,
Like,
sure.
y'all
nah,
know-
I trust in it because
I
Kamui,
give
the
y'all
Kamui
Sam.
thing wasn't
I
even
give
that
you.
bad.
No.
What's up?
I said the Kamui thing wasn't Ninja Kamui thing wasn't even that bad. Like my only problem with Kamui was that it was like they put in
CGI.
robots
Yes.
and then the fight choreography got stiff and they
Yeah,
should have
they
just
had a
relied on
great
the ninja
start.
abilities.
They ran out
Yeah.
of budget. Why not spread the budget? What's going on with the blow the budget in the first few episodes and then make Animaniacs for the last seasons? I don't understand what's doing all this because they want to hook people so bad. This is what's freaking me out about anime. If we keep tripping on animation, we're gonna lose out on shit, on
Oh
good
yeah.
shit. Because
That's
if
people
everything
tripping
has
out
to
on
be
Soccer Battle
solo
Days.
leveling season 2, we're in for a dark future. It's in for 7-year waits like we do with TV shows where they gotta like, I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know. But before we go, there was a presentation today about
Oh,
the Switch 2. What was that? What was it, Hawk?
did you hear about 2B Hero X?
Yes.
Oh,
I heard
that's what I
about
listened
that.
to. Yes, that's like was from
Yeah.
like 3D to 2D, right?
Yeah, they
Oh
switch
no,
animation
I'm
styles.
thinking of something else.
They
Thinking of
have multiple like heroes and abilities. The guy who does the snap and like switches to the animation style, I feel like that's part of his power set. And apparently, this is a franchise from like it has like 2 entries in it, and this is it has 3 entries in it, and this is the 3rd one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's just a last minute thing that came up on my thing, and I was like, oh, it's another anime to add to April. So yeah,
Whoa,
Yeah, it's
I've
April
never
6th.
heard of this. To be Hero X.
Yes.
yeah.
And then
The
the
hell?
Apothecary Diaries come back as well this month.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
A mystery anime, I would say, a mystery romance. It's pretty good. It's
I heard a
pretty
lot of
good.
great things about it.
It was really good. Like it started last year. It came out at the end of 2023, I believe, and then went through 2024. But it's good. It's definitely, if you want to take a break from like action and mystery, take a break from action, I recommend it. I would.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you guys' thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation that just came out today? And I'll start off. I thought it was fire. I thought it was great. Now I was hearing rumors that it's gonna come out sometime like in the summer or sometime in May. I'm like, the shit
June
comes
is
out
crazy.
June 5th,
That's
and
crazy.
that's literally 4 days after DreamCon, and shout out to my guy Cool Hands, he just posted a reel saying when you have to
I
pay
actually saw
for
that. I don't know why
when
I
you have
saw
to pay
that, but I saw that.
$450 for a Switch 2. We were just at DreamCon. You're like, I'm broke, nigga. I can't eat. I'm like, bro, like, well, luckily I get paid that week, but still, though, it's like after DreamCon, then I gotta see this release right here for $450, which I might get the $500 because I'm trying to get Mario Kart as well. But I thought it was a
Okay.
good presentation. I will say this too: it's good business for Nintendo to release it in the summertime because you don't have to worry about the whole fall madness because fall season is basically gaming season. So you get away from all that because like all eyes are on you. Nothing else coming out in the summertime. Everyone's gonna be all eyes on
Every
Switch 2.
kid's off of school in the summertime. You ain't
Yes.
getting no Switch 2, bro. I'm just kidding.
But I will
Just
say
let me
this
go.
though, it's bad for my wallet because I'm like, I got cons go to in May, and you're gonna come out in June right there. And we can't even pre-order yet. I think pre-orders they say come out or start next week. So I'm like,
9th. It's the
Next
9th,
week,
I
yeah.
think.
next
Yeah.
week. So I'm gonna try my best. But yeah,
Here's my take as an anti-Nintendo connoisseur. Y'all are crazy. $90 for Mario? Over my dead body. That is fucking insane. $80 for Donkey Kong? GTA 6 isn't even $90 yet. I'm sure it might be with expansions, but Jesus Christ. $90 for a cartridge of Mario Kart World, which I don't know how, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. It goes to 160 frames per second or 120 at 1080p. I'm like, why not just get a Steam Deck at that point? If you're gonna spend the money, get a Steam Deck. It'll run 4K and you'll play any game you want on it. You can have the internet on it, like no restrictions. You can get ROMs on it. You can download illegal games. Like, why not? I don't know. I don't know. It blew my mind. I was like, dude, what? $90?
I mean, Ralph, you're right. It is a lot of money, but I love you to death. You're the
Per
same guy
game?
that told me I'm gonna get the upgrade for that 4K on my PS5 right there. I'm like,
I didn't, but I would. But think about it. If I get 5, 6 games, there's a fucking PS5 Pro right there, and you know you're gonna buy more than 5 or 6 games for that damn thing. So I don't
Well,
know.
the
It's
PS5 Pro is
just
the most ridiculous thing in gaming.
it is crazy.
but Ralph's
It's
like, I'ma
crazy.
still get it. I'm like, why?
I know. I wanted to, but I was like, there's no need for me to. There's
Yes.
nothing. Now, if Final Fantasy VII Part 3 was coming out, I would have bought it immediately. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. There is one game I'm excited for. I'm intrigued to see is that From Software game, the Blood something.
The
Yeah.
That looks
Outbloods.
kind of cool.
Blood,
Yeah,
something like
the
that. Yeah.
Bloods. And the only reason I'd ever get one is to replay the Xenosaga series because I didn't get to play 2 or 3.
Okay.
Okay.
I played 1 like 3 times and beat it, but other than that, I didn't see anything that exciting. Third party was probably a little more exciting, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to ask for y'all's reviews and shit. I'm
Well,
skeptical.
so
It's pricey, and the timing. This is the timing for me. It's just the timing for me.
Yeah.
let me just say this was an A+ direct for me, and I'm gonna hold. I like to. I don't want to just go Nintendo fanboy on people and be like, yeah, it was great, it was great. I'm like, well, let me just look at it from all sides because like people take Nintendo Directs like different ways. Like some people say one person can hate a Nintendo Direct one day, and then another person can be like, I got what I wanted. Like because you remember that or Ralph, I don't know if you watch like Nintendo Directs often, but like there was one where they were just constantly showing like people called it Farm Direct, where they showed like a lot of Animal Crossing and Sims games.
It
People
will
who
say
didn't
that
like that
it will
stuff
say certain
hated
direction
it.
for or score certain one game.
I watched one where they dropped the Monster Hunter and people went ballistic. So I'm like, okay, I can get it. But like having sold my original Switch and I had all the games I wanted, like Breath of the Wild was too much for me. I was like, dude, there's no way.
I'm not a Zelda guy, so it's not
Yeah,
really.
I tried. I've tried to be a Zelda guy. I'm just fucking not. Like,
I love
it
the
sucks.
story and aesthetic. I don't I don't like doing dungeons. Is my only thing. I
Yes,
like the
thank
action
you.
too.
The
I like the
action,
action and
the action
the
was
weapons and
great. The
stuff.
boss fights were
You're
awesome.
not like the
But when I
dungeons.
have to go in some dungeon and lift some fucking shit up and put it
Oh
here
yeah,
and
yeah.
twist,
That
I'm
was
like,
that
dude,
was
this is
annoying.
driving me insane. I'm like, I can't.
Mhm.
But
Give me.
I do want to get into back into Zelda through Breath of the Wild at some point. I'd actually want to stream it as well. But
Hmm.
anyway, back to the Switch 2 Direct. Like 9 to 10, I was just on a Nintendo high. They were hitting all the right notes for me because like
Yeah.
I'm a
What's an
big
example of a game that you saw that got piqued your interest besides something like Donkey Kong or Mario that ever like
Well,
something
I mean,
lesser known?
I
okay.
can't. The Mario Kart was a great start, though. The Mario Kart World was a great start.
It was amazing. I love the fact that they're bringing back Donkey Kong just based off the like he hasn't had a 3D platformer since
Since like
64. I want to
64.
say.
Yeah, 64. I had
Which
that shit.
yeah,
Sucked
it's
at
great.
that game.
The only thing I don't like, and I know that people are going to this is an arguing point, but they're going off of his new look from the movie.
Yeah,
Since and the movie made over $1 billion, so I can
Yeah.
exactly. Why
imagine
wouldn't
Nintendo
they?
is like, okay, we got to stick with this one for the kids or like for the family, and like that's the recognizable face of Donkey Kong right now. But
Yeah.
it is tough
Absolutely.
seeing him in that way. It's like
Yeah,
it's gonna
when I
take some
saw
getting
his
used
little sunken in eyes, I was like, "What they do to my
Yeah,
boy,
it's
bro?"
yeah.
like
Damn,
his look
what they
is
do?
not gonna be the greatest thing, but I still the gameplay is probably gonna like people are not gonna forget about it, but the gameplay's gonna make up for it.
Yeah. And if it's not something I'm interested in, so I'm gonna play Mario in the Donkey Kong for sure. Something I'm not gonna play, but that did interest me was the new Metroid Prime. Like they revealed that a couple directs ago,
Yeah, go
Hmm.
directs to
but
go.
seeing the gameplay of it, and seeing the new abilities of Samus, and like how they're continuing the story, like how I feel about Metroid is how I feel about Zelda. Like I don't necessarily want to play
Same.
it, but it does have. Looked into the story. I've watched multiple games. I do like seeing it, and the games that they have gotten recently in the Metroid franchise. Like I know Dread came out couple years ago.
I played that
Mhm.
and I just couldn't get into it. And I
Yeah,
like
I,
Metroidvanias, but man, it
Metroid
was a lot.
it's really
Prime.
hard apparently
Yeah,
from
it
Metroid friends
was.
even
And
says
it's
that.
yeah,
I have Metroid Prime. I actually got a couple years ago, but I stopped playing. I had to play it again. I got stuck on it because I don't know where to
same. That's
go.
what it was.
I
I
was
like
like, where
couldn't
I
get
gotta
through a
go.
door. It was a random
But
puzzle. I kept
Yeah.
dying. I'm like, okay,
but
I'm done.
it's still a cool series. Like I said, I don't want to hate on success right there. I really don't. Like Zelda is a great series, but I just
Mhm.
couldn't get into it for whatever reason. And even though it's like it's kind of my style too in a way, but for whatever reason, okay, this is just me. Sometimes haven't it works for certain games, but sometimes having stamina, I'm like, God, the stamina building is so annoying. Like, are you stamina? I climb up rocks. I'm just like, well,
I think stamina. Here's my take on stamina, because most games I play has some type of stamina bar. Like right now, I'm
like
playing
Elden Ring. I see the stamina on there.
Elden
I
Ring.
see
All
it.
the Souls like have stamina bars. I'm playing the first Berserker Kazan right now. I'm loving that. That stamina bar is hard. Like I have to like hold back from attacking. But if I didn't,
Mhm.
I would be running through everything. So it just adds an element of like groundedness to where like you just can't do everything all the time.
Yeah,
Now with Zelda, where it pissed me off was if I'm climbing off a ledge or if I'm skydiving on the parachute and I'm losing stamina, I'm like, my boy, I can't just hold on. Like, I gotta get tired from
Yeah.
holding it on too. That shit
I,
was frustrating, but I did like it though.
yeah, I didn't know you lost stamina from the paraglider too. I knew you did it from climbing, but like from the
Maybe I'm
paraglider, I
wrong,
didn't know about
but I
that.
could have swore that's what it was too. But the climbing definitely would get on my nerves for
it
sure.
annoyed me. It
Yeah,
annoyed me.
but it's just like it was feature after feature. Like even I will say, so while I was watching it, just kind of off the top of my head, because they were
Mhm.
literally every point was like interesting to me.
Yeah,
Game chat. The first thing I thought of, I was like, okay, Nintendo, we got Discord, like we're good. But then
Yeah,
exactly.
once I thought about it more, I was like, well, what if some people aren't on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have the interactive features with it within
Yeah.
the games, like in the Mario Party game. I love Mario Party, and like how they
yeah. Your
use.
ass got lucky the first time we play right there. That's some bullshit. His first time playing a game again, he wins.
I still gotta make I still gotta make that clip. So basically, I disconnected and then the CPU locked in for me, and then
Yeah,
I got back in there and basically,
The CPU
it was
helped
like
him out.
it was like Dwayne and LeBron basically.
it's actually it's actually
Yeah,
incredible that it let you back in and the CPU took over. Now,
yeah.
here's another thing about the Switch.
Hmm.
When I had my Switch before I sold it, because I tried to play Smash Online with people, and that connection was terrible.
Well, that was your
I
first
could
mistake right there. Playing online with Smash
Why?
Brothers. Online
I mean,
Smash online is terrible.
is it? Okay. But that
It's
left a bad. I was like, dude, I can't even play online.
Nintendo is not the best with internet, and I feel like
Mm,
we that's not their whole it's not their strength at all, and I don't think
okay.
they're trying to make it their strength. The thing about Nintendo and like how they do consoles and stuff, people endlessly want to push like we want high end 4K. People have been trying to get this 4K
Mm-hmm.
Switch for a while now, but I'm like that was never the point of the Switch in the
No,
first
it's
place. So
not.
why
It's
even
not.
have that expectation? Like that's what I would say to some of those fans. But the other thing is with this one, I feel like there's enough features to push it to that 450 mark for the console, and that's still way less than a stream, not stream deck, Steam deck to me. And like for
Yeah.
me, this the Steam Deck, I feel like it's like you could play PC games everywhere, and that's a cool thing. But I feel like that only applies to like PC, Xbox, PlayStation gaming.
PlayStation releases all their games on
Yeah,
consoles and Steam. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just I feel like for the casual,
Now,
this is where I would criticize like Nintendo a little bit. I'm like,
mhm.
is this going to be is Switch to a continuation of the Switch, or is it the
it's
new
brand new
era?
system.
Like,
That's a
are we
good point.
is it like going from PS4 to PS4 Pro or PS4 to PS5? You know what I mean?
But
To
also,
me,
I
it
think
seemed like a pro situation. I just didn't see enough to warrant one the game prices. Here's the thing. When you have the same IPs that you kind of tumble around and then your
Hmm.
third party kind of is exclusives only, there's a lot of games on Switch that come out that I'm like, why can you not release that RPG on the PS5? Or I'll get it like 7 years later, remastered version. This came out on the Switch originally. But the exclusivity thing drives me crazy. I know
Hmm.
Sony does it as a Sony fanboy, and I'm sure people get sick of it, but like that stuff is so annoying nowadays. I'm like, I just want to play everything. Why can't we play everything? So like that
well,
From Software game is like Switch 2 exclusive. I'm definitely not buying a console for that. I'll watch it
Yeah,
on YouTube, but like I don't know.
I
that
think the
interests
only
me.
game changer with Nintendo is that this type you're able to bring this stuff on the go. Like you never thought, these type of systems to have like not saying they have the best quality in terms of presentation right there, but like the fact that you're able to carry this on the go is something different where I feel as though let's say you have the Steam Deck, they're doing it. Honestly, I can see Sony doing this and I love Sony too, but Sony tries to take a lot of things from Nintendo, the PSP, the freaking their little Wii remote thing that they tried, the little dildo thing one that they had and shit. But like, yeah, like I can see Sony or something like this. Now Microsoft, I mean, Microsoft's all been about entertainment. Honestly, I feel so their focus on gaming is kind of died down a bit because of what with the whole Game Pass or whatever like that.
Their next system, which have been hearing for a while, and I think they've kind of confirmed it, is basically gonna be like a computer where you have Steam on your Xbox and you play whatever you want, which I'm like heavily debating on getting because it's genius and it takes this game's on PC, this game's on PS5. You just have a developer put the game out, and not only that, you can play tons of indie games. And I think indie games are really shining nowadays because the big
They are.
studios
Yes,
are
100%.
dropping hot garbage and
Yes.
then microtransactioning us to
Hmm.
death, and we're sick of it. Like, take me back to PS1 days where I can play an RPG for 140 hours. Like,
I
And
like
can't say
that's
have
the
the
all
best.
I want
content
nowadays.
on the, let's say, $60 game. Like you pay $60, you get all those hours of content instead of
Hmm.
like building it, you. And if you do DLC, add a lot more. Because like I feel like
Exactly.
Mario Kart 8 was the best way to do DLC because like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch, that was the complete Mario Kart package. Like if you compare it to all the other Mario Karts before. And then once you get
Well,
the
the only difference
DLC,
is it only had like
Mhm.
new characters in the battle mode. It didn't really start
Yeah.
picking up until the whole like boot. Like, well, people were still playing online like myself, but like it definitely went another level when they released, those courses. Now, not all the courses have
96
done well.
courses or something like that.
Yeah,
Or like
96. Wow.
it was like it was 96 total at the end, but I think it was
yeah, at the end,
48
was,
more
yeah,
on top of the
Wow.
48 they already had. So
Wow.
it was crazy. And they
yeah,
divided up into waves. It was a whole thing.
it
Wow.
was a really good thing about them. It was a really good thing
Yeah.
about them. But I think that's the main issue with me with the Nintendo Switch too, is that the timing. Because it's like most of the time when you mention a new system, you give us time to prepare. Just this,
Yeah,
you
they
ain't
came
wait.
out of nowhere with this.
Like,
I was shocked.
like we
Like,
kept hearing rumors about it, but then
same.
first of all, when did they show it? They showed us back earlier this year, right?
No, it
Was it
January.
like
leaked. It leaked, and then they had to confirm it. And then that's like I heard leaks first, and
They
then I
had
saw
hella leaks.
rendering of it,
Yeah.
and the rendering was
like,
spot on. So that leak was real.
like
So
if you were to tell us about the Switch 2, it's still it might be early, but if you were to tell us about it in January and give us a release date then, that's great. But you mean to tell me you give us a presentation on the second, which actually no, you announced the presentation in March or February, I can't remember.
No, it was January. They said that
yeah,
we
I thought
will
it
announce
was
more
a
information in
long time
April
ago.
2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave us it in April, and then it comes in 2 months. Like what?
I think they don't have the hardware to keep up. Think about the Switch. I remember I really wanted one. And like remember during COVID, it was
I
like
still love
finding
it.
a diamond. It's like finding a diamond. Now I see them all over and they're like 300 or 350.
That's how
But
I was getting the PS5. Couldn't get it
oh,
anywhere.
I got lucky with mine and got mine from
Yeah, like I look at my
Verizon store.
PS5 too.
But yeah, I'm eager to see how much hardware they have prepped for a 2 month heads up to like the fan base. Knowing how rabid the fan base can be. I don't know what just happened. Did you see
But
that?
Are you
here's
on
the
your
thing.
iPhone?
I'm on my iPad. What the fuck
Yes.
did I-
If you do like hand motions or something, it'll like stuff.
Whoa, that
Yeah,
was
I don't know how it
strange. I was
triggers.
like,
but
what the f just happened?
But here's the thing, guys, and this just goes on forever and ever. We'll complain about a price, no matter what it is. It can be a game, it can be a movie, it can be a system, it can be anything, right? It can be a TV, it can be a concert. No matter how expensive it is, we'll still get it anyway. Because I'll say this with DreamCon.
You saying that so loud, bro?
Sorry, sorry.
They're listening. I'm just kidding.
Because DreamCon tickets were very pricey this year. We complain about it, but we still bought them. Trust me, I don't like the prices. I wouldn't like, but it's like it's a new system. You're gonna be like, dang, I don't want to miss out on because if I miss out on it, it's gonna be a while for me to get the next one right there. So it's like they know what they're doing. Like I said, is it pricey? Yeah, but I'm probably still gonna get it.
Again, I don't think this system is the problem. The system's price is the problem for me. I much would have preferred like 400 for me personally. Like
Yeah.
I would have taken
That's what I
400.
predicted. But when I saw, it can play GameCube games, it can do this, I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna be no $400 system.
Yeah,
It ain't.
Yeah.
the
Okay,
mic,
that
2
part, the
USBs.
backwards compatibility, that got me hyped. Because
Yeah.
there
Game
are
share.
tons of games on the GameCube that like I wish I could have played because I didn't have one. I was like,
No.
okay, that piques my interest a little bit.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if they subscription it, like pay $20 a month to play all you want. I don't know. The
It-
whole
it's a- It's a part. Sorry to burst your bubble.
No,
but,
no,
like,
no.
It is like a.
It is.
Yeah, it's added on to like their Nintendo
Well,
Switch
most of the
Online
time, the
expansion
$20
pack.
the
Yeah.
$20 is for the year, though. Most of the
Oh,
time,
Yeah.
you gotta get the online membership. Like the online membership is $20 for a year. It's probably gonna be raised a little bit now that you have the Switch 2,
absolutely.
obviously. But like, it's
Absolutely.
not like PlayStation where it's like $20 or $10 a month or anything like that. Like $20 for the year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, these are like emulator games, and I think PlayStation's the same way, but I think it's better than. Is it PlayStation Plus?
Yeah, so I have
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus Premium. You get the classics, and it's 21.44 a month. And I have yet to play a classic. So
Yeah.
I just end up, I'm
It's tough.
like, I'm just gonna downgrade my tier because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But
But so like yeah, and my only problem is Mario Kart is 80. They should put the I would take 70 for that. Like it's like they
exactly,
brought it up a little more for each like Joy Cons used to
But that's
be
the
80
physical one, right?
Joy-Cons are $90 now.
digital.
The Pro controller is
80,
80
hours is
bucks.
digital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the
And then
90s, the physical one.
90 for physical.
physical.
That's crazy work. That's
Yeah.
crazy
That's
work.
why I feel so a lot of people are going to try to get the package deal, the $500 Switch where it comes with the Mario Kart. Which wait, basically is that going to be a physical or a digital one?
That's
I
physical.
should be
I
physical with
think
the if
it
you get it in the
should be. If
bundle.
it's not, that's highway
Yeah,
robbery.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it is
Because
fifty
I'm old school.
dollars.
I prefer having a physical copy of a game. I prefer physical
I
copies.
honestly don't care nowadays because I'll download a game, beat it once, and I'm like, I probably won't play that again. I just like that took a lot of
It
time. I think I got what I needed out of that.
it depends on how much you like the game, I think. Like for me, Mario Kart, I would get physical, but then if it were like something if I would just want to try, let's say Metroid, for example,
Hmm.
like I would just get it digitally, maybe try it for a little bit and then just delete it if I
Yeah,
don't like it
exactly.
or
That's
if I
that's
already
what I
finished it.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think the thing with I think we do this every console release. Like y'all remember when like PS5 and Series X came out, people had these little details they were complaining about and stuff.
Hmm.
Like people were complaining about how the UI for Switch 2 is the same. And I'm like, well,
If it ain't
let's be
broke,
honest, we didn't really care about it for the past
no,
7 or 8 years. So why are we
no
caring
one
about it
did.
No,
now?
That thing never even crossed my mind, and the time I
I
had
forgot
it was
about
the
that. So you just
UI.
brought it up.
And they never
Yeah.
even did like we people were complaining about the fact that the Switch doesn't have themes, which would be nice. They should do it, but once
You'll
again,
get those will come. Those will come.
I hope so because
Yeah.
it was just you could just choose from white and black, and that was it.
Oh.
I mean,
Like
right now, there's not a whole lot of games that are coming out for the Switch. Though. I mean, mainly most of them are like upgrades. Like those are the only brand new games in Mario Kart World. It seems as though.
Mario Kart, there's the one where it uses the mouse. It's like basically wheelchair basketball,
Oh, I
but you
saw
Yeah,
use
that.
mouse
What is
controls.
that?
It's interesting. I don't know how much it's going to cost or anything like that. They didn't
Yeah.
say anything else. But then Donkey Kong, of course,
well,
all the third parties.
that's not until July. I'm just saying like actual
Yeah.
like release right there.
Oh,
Which I
like
mean,
launch day. Yeah.
launch day. Yeah. Then I got the. Do you, looking at the past, has there been a whole lot of games that came out on launch day?
The
I can't
best
remember.
ones were if we're bringing in all consoles, I would say like it's gotten as good as like the PS2. I would say where
I
it's
was
like in
gonna say
terms of like
PS2
launch day.
launch had like a lot of games. I feel so.
Yeah.
But then the Switch is like the Switch's launch day, low key. The original Switch's launch day, it low key wasn't that much on launch day. Like you had
It
1-2
wasn't.
Switch.
Zelda was the biggest one.
What was
Zelda's the
that
biggest one.
bouncy fighter where you had like spinny
Oh,
arms?
oh,
Uh,
I
Yeah.
Arms.
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 I
Yeah,
actually kind of
Yeah,
liked that game. I thought that was kind of fun.
yeah,
yeah.
But
But it was
yeah,
only
that
like
came out.
3 or 5 titles on that actual
yeah.
launch date.
But yeah,
But the
that's
Switch
true.
still sold like crazy after that because like Mario Kart was coming
It
out like
did.
the
Yeah,
next month. So
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, no, it'll still sell well. Like I said, it doesn't. No, Nintendo they don't have did have a whole lot of games to sell this, which I said it'll eventually, release others. But I will say they're ahead of the game against the PS5, and like so Ralph said with what in terms of like they're systemized. Like yeah, look at that right there. Like I was,
Excuse
they're getting a
me,
head
sir.
start. They're getting a head start on the systems right there. They're getting a head start. I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
man.
want a PS6 for another 3 to 4 years
I
tops.
don't want either. No, no.
Yeah.
I love
It'd
PS.
be
At
hard to
least.
find again.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Well, the
But
thing
my
is,
thing
too,
is
well, first of all,
nowadays,
you released it during COVID. That wasn't a good idea to do that. Which,
well, no one knew. They didn't know. If it
uh,
wasn't, because there's a chip shortage because
Yes.
of COVID. That's the whole reason this whole shit happened. So then they had to make a new chip. And like if that would have if that hadn't happened, uh, yeah, it would have been a lot different.
But like, and then I think about like back then, what was like I think if Sony does push through to start rolling out a PS6 in the next coming years, that's what's going to diminish the PS5 even more.
Hmm.
Like you have to let
Yeah,
that cook for more years because
exactly.
like
Yeah.
people couldn't get one in the first like 2 or even 3 years at the
Hmm.
point. Like it's not as easy to find as it is now. And even
They
then, that price point is still pretty high for some people.
and they just
Like,
stopped making games for PS4 like what, less than a year ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's
they
no
did, yeah.
way. There's no way. But that is a
Like,
Sony thing. I mean, PS2 was like still a thing when people were playing PS4.
Yeah.
Like people
Hmm.
yeah.
in Japan are still playing
So,
PS2, and I don't
yeah.
blame them. PS2 to me is my favorite system ever, best games ever. Like
Yeah, I would say the release for the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, in a way, Dreamcast is what was on there a little bit. That was like a golden
that's the
year, right?
golden age right there.
That
Yeah,
was golden age right
that
there.
was the
Golden age.
golden age.
Sorry, Night
Yeah.
Drop. Sorry, Night Hawk. You're too young for that one. Too young
I
for that
wish I
one.
experienced the Dreamcast though. Like I heard so many great. They
Well, the
have so many
Dreamcast
gems
didn't
too.
last. Dreamcast didn't last very long. It was about like a year or two. The
Yeah.
Dreamcast did not last long, despite how great it was. Like a lot of arcade games were able to run on the Dreamcast. Like you go
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
arcade game, Dreamcast was probably like arguably it's the best system right after that. Especially if
Yeah.
you play a
And
lot of
then
fighting games.
I think right system, wrong time.
yeah, like that's the
That's the
interesting thing about
classic
Yes.
Sega
case
is
about it. Yeah.
Sega
Yes.
did
If it
that.
was like a year before PS2 and all that, it would have taken the game by storm
It
because it
wasn't
ran just
presentation
like
wise.
a
It wasn't touching
PS2.
it.
Yeah. You had a
It
rumble
wasn't.
box, like the memory card. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
You had
cool.
to have the memory card. You had to have that memory card for dear life. Go to a friend's house.
Yeah.
You better make sure you
You
bring
better
that
bring
memory
that damn
card.
memory card. Yeah.
Because if you lose that memory card, you're
You're,
fucked right
yeah,
there.
you're
But
screwed.
yeah, but no, like I said, we're in a generation where it's like it used to be. It was like 6 or 7 years, a new system would come out. Yeah, we're not in that anymore right there. Like, gotta this
No.
system had to last for maybe like 10 years now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
has to. It has to.
Yeah.
But we pretty much saw the overall what we want to talk about right there. We talked a lot about Solo right there. Then we jump into the anime 2025. Then jump into the Nintendo Direct, the Nintendo Direct with the Switch 2 right there. This was a great conversation right there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
really loved it right there. This
Yeah,
was great.
definitely.
I also had to add some clips to it on social media and stuff like that. I'm definitely gonna add the part where like NightHawk says, "Yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Z in high school." I was like in 2018, like
He's
what?
not gonna let you go with that one.
No,
Not gonna let
no,
you
no,
go
no,
with
that was
that one.
funny. That was
Talk-
funny.
Not gonna
No,
let you
no,
Like
go.
on my
Oh my God.
phone, 11 episodes straight when they got the Gohan and Cell, I was locked in. That
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the moment I became like the anime head. Like when I
Yeah.
still think about that scream when he first turned Super Saiyan 2
I
to this
know.
day. That meant something.
I know.
Man,
I
let me
wish.
just say something right now. You missed the golden age with TV shows. That's also like we had like Saturday morning cartoon shows from like Kids WB or Fox Kids,
Rurouni
ABC Family.
Kenshin, the terrible
Yeah,
dub of One Piece you'll never have to live through, like I did.
the
The
four kids
absolute
version
worst
of
dub,
it.
4 kids version.
The
Sanji
four,
had like a lollipop instead of a
yes,
cigarette. I
I'm a
mean, shit was
cigarette.
all fucked up.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sanji
Oh
had a
yeah.
lollipop, bro.
They PG
Mm.
that
They
shit right there.
PG
Back
my One Piece, and that's why I never got into it. And then I was like, let me just read this shit because the anime is trash. And then I fell in love with it. I was like, this is incredible.
Well, One
Yeah.
Piece took its time to get to where it's at right there. Like, feels to a lot of people now, it's like they want it to be a fire episode to start. Like, no, it takes time
Oh,
for
there
the
is
anime.
fire episodes, but the best thing about it is One Piece's world building is so freaking deep that when you get to the later stuff and all of that like culminates into like little things, you're like, this is beyond its time. Like
Y-
it's just, oh
That's
my
what I'm
gosh.
feeling so
Yeah.
far. Like I
Everything means something. Every character has a place,
mhm.
every name, every foreshadow. We all want to know what Roger did, Howard did. Like, I mean, we're
And I was
still
never.
getting reveals from like the first few chapters in the latest chapter. I'm on chapter like 1178 or something
Mm.
crazy. And it's stuff from like chapter 4. It's like, remember this character? This is who he is now. And it's like, whoa, everything just connects. It's so dope.
And like I said, for
I
me,
can't wait
I
to
don't
see it.
watch One Piece.
Yeah.
Eventually, I will, but I never understand the hate for One Piece. And I always feel as though anytime when an anime is doing really successful, people just like to hate on the success. That's just me. But that's never for a different day, though.
I need the criticism at least to be, if people are gonna critique or like hate a series, I need it to be like justified at least. Like okay,
I don't
say
want to hear that
why.
it's too long. I don't want to hear. I
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
hearing that. In that case, you're still watching Dragon Ball Z. You're
That's
still
what I'm
watching
saying. If
Naruto.
you watch
You,
Dragon Ball Z and
you better
Naruto,
not be saying
don't be
that One Piece is
talking.
too long. If you are still watching Case Closed,
Oh my god.
how
They
is
have
that nigga
Oh
no.
my
still a kid?
god.
How is that
Or
nigga still a kid?
or Hajime no Ippo. How long has that man been boxing? Bro, you better be
Does he still
Tyson
have
levels at this point.
he still has
Oh
stuff
yeah,
going
it's
on?
still. I'm pretty still sure it's still good. They still haven't. Mappa just dropped the series like a couple of years ago
Oh
for
wow.
it. I think
So,
Megalobox is better if you ever watch that. That show is so good.
Okay.
Oh, I
I
think
do want to get into
that's.
Hajime. But yeah, I'll write down
I
Megalobox.
think Megalobox is Watanabe too. Shinichiro. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It might be.
I think you're right about that, Ralph. I
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
really good.
Ralph, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, you gotta go to DreamCon, bro. I'm telling you, dog.
I
You
know
gotta
you've
go
been
to that
telling
shit.
me.
Mhm.
I
I
mean,
gotta see it.
it's fire, man. Like I can't wait to go. It's coming up soon.
It's so
Yes, I said.
many. It's this might be the biggest one where it's like
Oh, it's
like
gonna be.
obviously in attendance, but like in our own personal communities coming together. I'm already
Matches still on
seeing so
sale.
many. Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, because they're always sold out. They're
Yeah,
always sold out.
that's crazy.
They're always sold out. That's crazy to me, right there. They're still on sale.
Mhm.
I can tell my friend, I'm like, it's still on sale. So I mean, if you want to, you've been saying you want to go, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, planning a trip up very, very soon though. But yeah, no. But yeah, guys, no. This, like I said, this was a lot of fun. Like I said, obviously, I'll be doing episode discussions on Lazarus, but I'll definitely be like, getting ready to get when we want to talk about the whole entire season right there. But
Mhm.
I just can't, I can't,
Sure.
I can't stop thinking about the anime, bro. I can't stop thinking Lazarus, bro. Like, I'm watching the intro again when we're done with talking, right? I'm gonna watch the intro again when we're done talking. I am.
Yeah.
But before I head up out of here, guys, you guys want to say any last words before we head up out of here? Because it's getting late now.
Yeah, I know. I'm past my bedtime. Watch One Piece, please. Thank you.
I will be. Speaking of One Piece, I will actually be doing my daily reps right after we get off as well.
Oh yeah.
Probably gonna get. Got time for like maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is really great.
Yeah.
Feels great to like actively like when we were talking about solo leveling. I forgot certain details up until you guys like mentioned it, so I was like,
Oh yeah,
Same.
no, that's what I was gonna talk
Same.
about with people right
Yeah,
there.
I love that.
yeah, and I feel like overall, like there's undertones that we don't mention because the fights are so good, and that's
Mhm.
what's taking up the attention.
Yeah.
But those undertones are really interesting. I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah.
And then with the Nintendo Switch Direct, it feels good to like actively talk about that because like I've been texting people all day like about like, oh my god, this is coming out, this is coming out.
Yeah.
This might be a problem, this might be a problem, but then
Mhm.
like talking about it with y'all was great too. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me for sure.
Yeah.
The only problem
seriously.
the only biggest problem I have is my wallet. My house would be like, the fuck you didn't pay for all that shit for? You were just at DreamCon, nigga. Now you want to pay for this shit? What's wrong with you? With your broke ass? I don't care, man. I don't care. Let me live my life before I settle down with my wife and everything like that. Let me do that. Let me do that.
I
Let me do
will
that.
be actively asking if you are able to snag one. I want to know what that hardware's availability is like. I'm so curious if they're gonna have it out the gate.
You want me to steal one for him right there?
Yeah, no.
You want me to steal one for him right there? But no, folks.
Mhm.
For him here, please follow NightHawk's Twitch. I will add that in the description box as well.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
do you also have YouTube as well, or is it just Twitch?
I do have a YouTube. My most active platform is probably IG. So if you want to get in touch with me, see what I'm like up to on a daily basis almost, Night_Hawk 829 on IG. And then my YouTube, I do have 2 of them. The first one is
You have
the gaming
music one,
side.
right?
Yeah, music one and the gaming one. My music persona is like the Visionary G. I do alternative hip hop from time to time. I'm releasing my own music on that platform. Just recently released an EP. It's called The 25th Hour, kind of like a tribute to my college days since I just like
Okay,
graduated
nice.
college.
Nice, congrats.
That aesthetic. There we go. I do it like every time, like age. But yeah, that whole project was just like raw creativity. Like some points where I can improve like the rapping a little bit, but I really did like my writing. I've written and produced by me, by the way. So
Oh, nice.
that's all me. So yeah,
As long as you're not being
visionary.
inspired by Drake, you're good.
Yeah. at the visionary
Listen, Drake about to
5070.
make a comeback.
I don't know about that. You say he's about to make a comeback?
People blowing up about that Nokia. I haven't even heard that song, but
Don't waste your time. It's cool, but like,
listen, if he stays in his lane and he makes music like that forever,
he'll be fine for sure.
He will be fine.
I don't want to touch base on because I know what's up about forever. But like after the whole thing with Kendrick, I lost respect for him.
Oh,
I'll only listen to him if he just comes on. I'm not going away to listen because I lost respect from after we did the whole like suing and shut down. I'm like, yeah, you corny for that shit. But there's a different day though. But like I said, send me the links for your other YouTube pages. I think I might subscribe to them, but like I'll add them to the description box as well. Because I have your Twitch in the description box, but I have to add the other YouTube channels as well on that.
For sure, yeah. So yeah, basically, music YouTube is the Visionary G 5070. Like if you do the at, and then other side is the gaming side, which is basically just NightHawk, but like NightHawk 8299. It's an extra 9. I need to like get better with like the name so it's easier for y'all to follow me. But yeah, music YouTube, gaming YouTube, IG, and Twitch.
So. All right, all there. And like I said, he's also been on the channel before. I say we played Mario Kart the one time with me, Callie, Keiko, Kaiser, and we also did Mario Party as well. So I added in the description box below. But as always, folks, thank you so much for tuning in right there. Always, subscribing part of Knuckles family. Give this video a like, helps the channel out a lot. Follow me on social media accounts in the description box below. Also follow NightHawk's social media account as well. And till next video, we'll see you guys next time. You guys take care. You guys have a good night. And I'm tired as hell, but peace.
Yeah, me too. Peace.
But yeah.
See you, man. All right, boys.
All right. So